Good afternoon. Welcome to the August 18th, 2025 school board meeting. I want to read this. Any member of the public who wishes to address the board on any agenda item must sign up using the blue speaking request card, including the completion of required speaker information with the superintendent or his or her designee at the beginning of the meeting. Any member of the public who wishes to address the board on a non-agenda item, not public comment, must sign in with a yellow speaking request card found on the podium at the entrance of the boardroom prior to the beginning of the public comment on agenda items. The speaker will be called to come forward by the chairman. Prior to making your remarks, please state your name and address for the record. And I'd like to remind everybody, this is a professional meeting of the board. The board is having a meeting to discuss the business of the school board. We ask that you address all comments to the school board. Please be respectful of all the persons speaking. To assist in the accurate minutes, please make sure you clearly state your name and the agenda item you are speaking on. Also, please state if you are for or against the agenda item you are speaking on. Again, we are glad that you are here. And at this time, if we would all stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ms. Lundy.
This evening, leading us in the prayer is Chloe Dickinson. Chloe is a 7th grade student at Madison County Central School. She's a proud member of the Beta Club, an honor roll student, and a dedicated cheerleader. Her favorite subject at school is science. Outside of school, Chloe is active in Madison Methodist Church, and she enjoys dance and participating in pageants. She is the current junior Miss Madison County. She is the daughter of Wendy Dickinson and Michael and Charlie Dickinson. So please join me in welcoming Chloe as she leads us in the prayer.
Well.
Dear Heavenly Father, please guide and direct our students and teachers as they begin a new school year. Lord, wrap your arms around them and put them in your hands. Please protect them. Give them the wisdom they need to be successful. Give them the dedication and determination they need for a great school year. Help them to have a smile on their face and to treat others the way you would want them to. In Jesus' name we pray, amen.
Amen.
And I would like to leave you with a verse that means a lot to me, and this is my motto for my non-for-profit Beyond the Crown. It's Philippians 2, verse 3. In whatever you do, don't let selfishness or pride be your guide. Be humble. Honor others more than yourself. Thank you.
Thank you, Chloe.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, I would like to be able to do this. I hope we can. Is everybody present that's supposed to be talking or going to have any kind of dealings with the property? I know that it was at the school parcel review. I know it was at the end for here, but if you was already here, if they were here, I wanted to maybe go ahead and get that done just so you wouldn't have to stay here for.
I don't see Miss Hazlett here yet from Lee. Is she here? I don't see her yet.
Well, I thought that we were going to have the workshop first, and then they would address whatever they needed to address.
Do what now?
I thought we were going to have the workshop after this meeting.
This was going to be the workshop. I was going to do it first.
This is the workshop?
No. I was going to do them first, just so they wouldn't have to stay here the whole meeting.
Okay.
We was going to do. I'm not done speak
Well,
first.
I don't know how they're going to address
we was
their
going to do the
concerns
workshop
if
first.
If I don't know how they are going to address their concerns. If
Right,
they
we was
had
gonna
heard
do-
what we
was gonna do that.
decided with the maps with the workshop.
Right, we was going to do that first. The workshop for
Oh,
this
the maps has
particular.
been given out.
Huh?
The maps have been given out. That has been drawn.
No, we haven't.
they were, well, the maps, how they are on the,
Well, see, that's what I'm saying. That's what I was thinking that they would address after we do the workshop.
well, I was planning on
Because
doing
they
it.
can't pre-address something that they don't know anything about.
I think it's a moot point at this
Yeah,
venture, just
'cause
because the representative
they're not
from Lee
here
is not
yet.
present yet, so let's just move on with the meeting as
Yeah,
scheduled.
and the True Wisdom is not present.
And the lead lady.
No, they're right
Oh,
there.
okay, because I haven't seen the
No,
maps.
none of us have there.
I was just saying, if everybody was here, we could go ahead and workshop that piece, so they wouldn't have to stay here. But they're not everybody here, so it's a moot point. Okay, agenda, amendments to the agenda. Is there any amendments to the agenda?
I have none.
I don't have an amendment, but I have a concern under 6 point. We have consent on just about 95% of the agenda. So I think that, I've discussed this with the superintendent. 6.2, I'd like to make that items for discussion, for individual consideration.
Okay. What's the pleasure of the board on,
Can I jump in?
yeah,
So which items are you wanting to move from the consent?
I'd like to have 6.1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay. The best way to handle that would be for one of y'all to make a motion to approve the agenda. And if you want to make that motion to approve it with that change, then you can make that motion and the board can vote on it. and y'all
Okay.
can decide.
So it's not the pleasure of a board member if they want to pull or add, it's not the pleasure of a board member to do that?
they can say it, but it has to be
I'm
voted.
talking to Tommy. Once upon a time, it was the pleasure of a board member if they want to pull an item or add an item. Now, so we're doing this different now?
I'm not familiar with one board member ever got to just pull an item over the objection of the others. I think the way I would handle it is I would let the board vote on how y'all want to do the agenda.
Oh,
So-
previously.
Okay, so you want us to approve the agenda
So-
and then make the change?
If you want to make a change, I would move to approve the agenda with the following change
Oh,
and then list out whatever
Okay,
you want to do.
okay. Well, I move to approve the agenda with the following change. I'd like to change 6 point consent agenda items to items for individual consideration. 6.1, 2, 3, and 4.
Okay, have a motion by Ms.,
Second.
and a second by Ms. Hagan. Any discussion? Is there any,
I would like to ask, because there is 2 items listed on here, where are these being added?
Well, actually, you're right.
So, I mean, we need to address the 2 items that are listed on here.
Where are
So
those?
there's consolidation with Eagle Tree Agreement and a NSLP equipment grant.
What are those?
So those need to be addressed as well.
That's 4.
That's, it's in the, they didn't print you the full content, so it's right here. So
Actually,
she needs to print
6.1
you-
doesn't have any
Okay.
she needs to
information
print
by
you
it.
the whole thing.
Okay.
So,
So you're asking that also?
yeah, I mean, where are we adding those somewhere?
huh?
Where are those being added to?
Which one?
Under 2.1, there are 2 things
Yes,
listed.
at the top,
I didn't have it.
right there. They're on, right there.
Okay. Okay,
Oh, Ms. Tammy, I think you just forgot to remove the bullet list. Those items are not, we've already approved those in the past.
Okay, so
thought-
there's,
They're just
they're
by
just there.
mistake.
I was like, there's no
There's
amendment.
just a typo. I think.
Yeah.
okay.
okay. So now, we have a motion by Ms. Gibson and a second by Ms. Hagan to approve the agenda with the removing 6.1, 6.2, 6.3, 6.4 from the consent agenda and adding it to the items for individual consideration. Any more discussion on it? Okay, all approved. All opposed?
So, Mr. Reeves, how are we going to address this?
So now
We're
you need
gonna
a
still be able to address
now
it.
you need a motion from someone to approve to
The agenda.
approve it however you want to approve it, and then y'all vote on that.
But I'm saying, legally, when a school board member wants to have something listed and heard in the public, and the other board members vote against it, how we're going to address the information that we want to address so that we will be being suppressed.
Well, we should be able to
And
discuss it.
You can still
Board member.
discuss it in the
Yeah.
items.
You still get to discuss it.
We're not gonna, we're gonna be because he's gonna go through each one of
Right.
these.
Correct. They're still going to be open for
And
discussion.
we are going to be able to discuss
That's
as long
right.
as we want to
Correct.
discuss.
That's right.
Yes, correct,
Okay.
So
Yes,
that
ma'am.
won't stop us
Yes.
from discussing.
No.
correct.
But I still say, consent bothers me that we are saying, that tells the public, we'd rather not discuss it.
Why is it that?
And
don't-
I know we're gonna be able to, but it's just, it's still, the message to me is, well, let's just put it under consent and we'll just, say okay to it all. But maybe the public doesn't think the way I do, that's okay. Well, the bottom line is we'll be able to
Right,
discuss it.
that's right.
Okay, well,
all
that's
right.
what I'm worried about. You can
Well, you don't have to
discuss it.
worry, you're gonna get, yeah.
Okay. So do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda
To
To the-
approve the agenda as presented.
as stated?
I move to approve the agenda as stated.
I second.
Have a motion by Ms. Thompson and a second by Ms. Knight to approve the agenda, consent agenda as stated.
Approve the whole agenda. as
The whole
stated.
whole agenda, I'm sorry, the whole agenda as stated. Is there any discussion now? If not, all in favor? All opposed? 3. Okay. So now we're going to public comment. Do we have, no, we don't have any public comment on agenda items, right? Nope. All right. Consent agenda 4.1 minutes, 4.2 engagement letter, the union negotiation, that's, and 4.3 the engagement letter, school internal funds, and 4.4 2025, 2026 assessment calendar, adult education calendar, and 4.5 the funding requests,
Fundraising.
fundraising, I'm
request.
sorry, fundraising requests. All these are on the consent agenda item.
So 4.2 is the engagement, a new contract, updated contract with Mr. Dietzen. The 4.3 is for the internal accounts, and then the other two are self-explanatory. So I do recommend approval.
Okay. Do I have a motion to approve the consent agenda?
I move to approve the 4.2 consent agenda.
The just 4.2?
Yes, that's, we just went over.
He's asking for approval of
Of
The-
all,
the-
all
of
of the
4.9.
Not all the agenda, just the 4.
Four.
No, yes, it was
4.0.
all under 4.2.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's 4.1,
4.0.
2, 3,
Well,
4, and 5.
4.1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
But
Yeah.
here's the problem that I have. If
Okay.
we're approving it in a cluster, how are we going to discuss it? If we approve it before,
You can discuss any
After
one of
we
them
have
you
a
want.
motion and a second, we can discuss it.
within the consent agenda?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Because he's going to ask for consent.
Okay, I have a motion by
Okay.
Ms. Gibson,
I second.
a second by Ms. Knight to approve the consent, for the 4.0 consent agenda, which all the way goes from 4.0 to 4.5. Is there any discussion on this one?
Okay.
If not, all in favor? 5-0. Okay. All right, now we're on to 5.0 to 5.4. And this is a consent agenda item with curriculum and grant awards. It's 5.1, Title V project award notification, 5.2, school improvement plan, 5.3, North Florida Child Development MOU, 5.4, Florida Tutoring Advantage Amendment. Do I have a motion to approve?
So we have to discuss that.
Oh, huh?
5.3, you don't have a document on.
Right.
No, that's
MOU.
information I need from them.
Yeah, okay. Well, when we get a motion,
Okay.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the consent agenda items for curriculum and grant awards.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Knight. I have a second.
I second.
Second by Ms. Thompson to approve the consent agenda items, curriculum and grant awards. Is there any discussion on this?
Yes, I'd like us to take a look at 5.2, School Improvement Plan.
Okay,
This caught my attention because particularly the third graders, we have a high percentage of students who are not on grade level. And it says here on page 10, only 4 were retained. And I'm thinking, if you're not able to read on grade level, how come you're going to the next grade? Now, some of them have been retained 2 or more times, which is allowed. But that kind of bothers me right there. Are they not retaining the children?
So they can go to summer school and
Okay, some
attend
of them
summer
went to summer
school
school,
and work towards their portfolio to be able to promote. So, and then if they've already been retained
Yeah.
twice before, then we
Right.
cannot retain them again. So that's how they get to promote.
Okay, well, where did the 4 come from? In other words, they had the opportunity to go to summer school also,
They
right?
either did not
Did-
attend. We
Okay.
did have a couple that did not attend.
So everyone has the opportunity to go to summer
Correct,
school
yes,
then?
ma'am.
So we won't really know who's going to be retained until,
Correct.
well, summer school's over now.
Over,
I mean,
yes.
We don't, okay, that bothered me right there because to
Every-
me,
Everyone is invited to attend.
okay, yes.
Doesn't mean they will attend.
Right, okay, that explains it then, because they're gonna have a hard road to hoe with this, with these scores.
yep.
And in other words, and I don't know how beneficial, summer school is certainly not bad, I mean, it's gonna be good for them, but, okay, that answers my question.
Okay.
So I'd still like to get the information, though, when
Yes,
we
ma'am.
get it, okay. Thank you.
So I do need direction and guidance on 5.3. I've been in discussion. I did receive an MOU from the North Florida Child Development. I have also pulled the 2023-24 and 24-25 agreement, and then emails that were sent out to Ms. Gaskins. I've been in touch with Ms. Brown, and so there's been some discussions back and forth. Right now, due to the low numbers, they did cut us by 17, the number for Greenville. So we are down the 17 seats for Greenville, so they cut out those offerings for us. But I need some direction from the board how they would like me to proceed in this agreement, because right now they are wanting us to offer the in-kind transportation and food service dollars. In the past, they have been paying food service. Last year, there was some discussion in here about cost of transportation services needs to be discussed. And there was never any agreement. We kept incurring the cost for transportation. They were not paying for it. I can tell you, and Mr. Carroll can attest to this, we had some FTE repercussions, audit findings, where we were transporting BPK students. So we will have that come back. And that's from 2023. So that's part of an audit finding. We will end up having that adjustment back.
And then I have had parents calling me, and I told them to call Ms. Brown. Their children are not being picked up.
Correct, because we do not have an agreement right now. We're
Okay.
trying to resolve this.
Okay.
And she and I have been in discussion because it will also
So they're
impact them
asking
going.
me and blaming us, and I'm telling them that's not our duty and responsibility.
That's correct.
And so I'm telling them to call Ms. Brown, and I don't know if they called or not, but I had 5 or 6 people calling me about it and saying their children are not able to get to school.
So, and she and I have been in conversation. It will also impact her enrollment because these students will have to enroll with us. So I need
told
to
them,
make
'cause
the
one
board
person said
aware of
they had a
that.
child that will be 5 in September, but was still going to that program. So I told them enroll them in our program. Because, after September 1st, the child is eligible now to be in our program. She's 4 and she would be 5, they were telling me. So I'm saying enroll them in our program. So I don't know what discussion they had with Ms. Brown, but that's an option that I told them about.
So there were transportation fees that were billed that were not paid because we also never received a signed agreement back.
But we did have discussion on that,
So,
2 years ago. And it wasn't resolved.
so I know the grant award will be up, this will be the last year with North Florida Child Development. So we do have the opportunity as the district to try to go after that grant ourselves and work after that if it's the pleasure of the board. So I have to get some direction in how we want to do that because it's more, we are absorbing more in kind. So I'm sitting on this waiting to get direction
Can
from
we
this
have a
board.
copy of that memorandum of understanding that
I'd
you
like to
have,
see it too.
that
I
you
can,
have now?
yes.
And have a copy and continue this?
Yes.
I was gonna say,
I
can
can do
we
that.
amend the motion to continue and
Well, and I just
I
want
will
to
table
clarify
5.3.
too, after looking at the grant findings, transportation, I don't even think needs to be on the table. I mean, that hurt us pretty significantly. So, I mean, I know that they have a bus,
And it is parked right now.
right, so like, I think it would be, I mean, like, that's my big concern, seeing some of those findings, that's pretty alarming to me. Like, the in-kind, for the food service, okay, let's consider it, but transporting the children, I was completely for it until I realized it was costing us money, and, that's, I mean, we can't be penalizing ourselves.
So Ms. Brown and I have been in discussion trying to figure out, does she need to try to hire somebody, try to get somebody certified so that they can drive the bus? I mean, we've been back and forth. So she and I have had a long talk. We talked probably 2 hours the other night, trying to come up with some other
I mean,
solutions.
ultimately, I don't think we want to punish these kids by not getting them there and
No.
not having them in school, because they need to be in school as much as possible, but we also can't do it, when we're getting penalized for it in our auditing findings. We've got to find a way to work around it.
Not last year, but the year before, didn't they promise a new bus?
Yeah.
A brand new bus? Did
Yeah.
we ever get that brand new
Yeah.
bus? And
Well,
were
it's
we able to
parked.
use it?
It's parked.
It's parked, okay.
Yeah, it's parked. So.
yes.
But it was never, the bus was never given to us. It was only for us to use to transport their children. Where we were under the impression that it was going to be
Be given.
in our inventory for us to transport our children as well. But that was never the case. So I think we really just need to find a way that we can, I think we need to look at that MOU and come to an agreement, where we can meet somewhere in the middle where these kids aren't being, punished for, lack of agreement.
Ms. Brown, would you like to speak to any of that? If not, that's fine. But if you don't mind coming up to the podium.
Good evening.
As Dr. Pickle said, we have certainly been in discussions. As you all know, I represent North Florida Child Development here in Madison County for about maybe last 15 years or so. Of course, as the budget has been constrained for the district, some of the in-kind services and the partnership agreements that we've had in the past, the district has let us know that they will no longer be able to continue that. Same on our end. A lot of the services and things that we were able to offer in the past because of budget constraints, we are no longer able to, hence the reduction in slots for the Greenville location. So we certainly understand the position of the board. What we asked is, again, the conversation that I had with Dr. Pickles is transportation is certainly a barrier for our families being able to get to school. It'll certainly affect our enrollments. We're already down 17. If we're not able to transport those students, again, we're working with those same families that are calling Ms. Hagan and other board members and the bus bond. Certainly. They're certainly calling, and we've advised them and we've told them that, if we are unable to work out something with the district, we will absolutely help them either enroll with the district. We have 3-year-olds and we have 4-year-olds. Of course, those 4-year-olds are able to get a VPK voucher and enroll with the district. Of course, the district will do whatever staffing needed to open another classroom for those students. That's certainly not what we want to do, but we're not going to have our our families displaced. Now, our 3-year-olds, that's a different situation because 3-year-olds can enroll in the district at the age of 3 unless they have some type of disability or delay, which all of the children may not have that. So those 3-year-olds will be displaced other than private child care, which most of our families are unable to afford. So we are certainly in a situation understanding the district, also understanding our side. So we have been, this first week of school, we've been working with our parents, trying to carpool. We've been connecting families together. A lot of our families are in Spring Hill, so the parents who may have a vehicle or can catch a ride, they'll bring another child with them. Again, that's not sustainable, but we're doing what we can do as much as possible to get them to school. But we have had those conversations with our families, and they have told us, they know they won't be able to get them back and forth each day. So ultimately, if we're not able to work something out with transportation, that they will have to drop the children, which of course that means our enrollment numbers go down, which affects our program. We're required to maintain a certain percentage, so ultimately it'll affect us having a program. So again, we understand the district. That's why Dr. Pickles said she would bring it to the board, at least get some type of guidance what you all want to do. So when she does talk with us and her counterpart, which is Sharon Gaskin, the CEO of our agency, she has some parameters of what we can do, what we can't do, what we already know is gone, and possibilities. We talked about the meals. Dr. Pickles had some, she was going to look into some things to see if that was a possibility, again, about dual enrolling our kids, but again, related to the audit findings, we weren't sure if that was a possibility. We do have some of our children who are dual enrolled in the district. Those are our ESC children, so those children who have an IEP and they're receiving LEA services through the district, they are actually dual enrolled. So they're in our program, we're providing the education services for them, but they're also enrolled in Madison County School District. They have a student number. You all receive whatever funding for them to be able to provide the ESC services. So my question to Dr. Pickles was, how does that work with those specific children that it can't work with all of the other children as far as them being dual enrolled? And that's what she was going to look into to see. The findings, she didn't specifically say that the VPK were our children. We assumed, but she was going to look into that. Again, we've been here 25 plus years. The district has been providing transportation. I've never been made aware of an audit finding regarding transportation for our children until Dr. Pickles told me about the 23 finding. So I'm interested to know what was different about 23 and the 20 plus years the district has been transporting our children, because we've never been made aware that that was an issue. And as far as Ms. Knight, I wanted to at least clarify on my end. My understanding is that bus was put into the district's fleet along with the old bus that we have. So you all have 2 buses from North Florida Child Development in your fleet. Your children ride that bus, not just ours.
Okay.
They were running routes with the school district. The only thing the agreement said that the district was able to use it as long as you all, maintained our route as well, which never conflicted with the district because we get out earlier than you all, so they would usually do our route and be back in time to run the district route. So that's always been a problem. So that bus is in your fleet. You all have the insurance, transportation, all that stuff in it. So I would certainly love for you all to work with us as much as you can, but like I said, understanding what you all are up against the same as we are. Our federal, we didn't even know we were going to have a program this year, so we're just grateful to be here, and we would like to continue to serve as many families as we possibly can. And speaking to Ms. Gibson about the school readiness and the 3rd grade scores, our program feeds the district's kindergarten classes. So I would love to see our partnership strengthened where you all wrap your arms around us and make sure that we're giving you the best product in kindergarten. So again, by the time they get the 3rd, you've already had that. It would certainly be in my opinion, a disaster to not have that early childhood education program and you all getting kindergartners that have not been exposed to any type of structured learning environment. And Dr. Pickles and I talked about pulling our scores pulling our children out to be able to see, you know, over 3 to 5 years, North Florida's children's scores when they take that test in kindergarten, to see how well we are preparing and what type of product we are giving you all. So we certainly want to continue working with you all, but we understand the financial strength. So what you all can do, I would appreciate the consideration, transportation, meals, what have you. We want to continue serving the children that we serve here. So we appreciate your consideration. Thank you, Dr. Pickles.
Thank you. So, did you get the opportunity to look into whether or not we could assign them a student number?
So in a conversation with another district, they were doing it and they had some findings.
Okay.
So they no longer were doing it. So, and she and I talked about that. So, and it's, and Brittany, I will go back and check. So it's my understanding from Mr. Ansley, the bus was being parked. The driver was running the regular route on one bus and then stopping and getting on the other bus to go back and pick up your children. So that was my understanding for what he told me. At least in Greenville, that was the way that route was being run.
Yeah.
So-
The bus that we put in your fleet is for the Madison location. That's the bus I'm referring to that was used.
Okay, so at
And that's
least
the
that
new
one-
bus.
That's the new one.
And I can
Okay.
attest that I have seen that bus because it says North Florida Child Development. I've seen it on the road a lot.
So, it's the old bus that is,
Yes.
okay.
Yeah. Well, I knew he had told me, he said, oh no, she gets off, she drives a regular route, then she stops and gets off and goes and drives the other route just to pick up those kids, so.
So, like, my only concern with, you know, if we keep kicking the can down the street, you know, like, these parents and these children are being impacted by this. You know, so the longer we procrastinate, the more these parents are, you know, scrounging to figure out what to do with their children. So that's my concern and my reservation.
Well, I am not for hurting none of them kids.
Me neither.
I don't,
So,
I
and
don't
the
know
longer
what
we
got-
procrastinate, the more we are.
Y'all gonna have to eat a little, and we'll have to eat a little, I guess. But we can't let them, we can't just,
Can you
I
get us
mean-
that memorandum of understanding?
Yes.
Thank you.
you know, that thing that we looked at before when that lady came, that, I mean, I go back sometimes to try to look at it, I didn't understand what she was talking about yet.
Well, I don't-
So I don't know.
I don't think she did either.
I mean, I still don't know what she was talking about.
So it's, the board approved an agreement in September, I believe it was.
Right.
And then Ms. Joseph emailed her in October stating that she had still not received a signed agreement.
Right.
They have met in person and expressed that the board would not be eliminating the charges, that I've taken the document to the board, they approved the document with the charges. We have been good partners and have been rendering services to you thus far. We are constantly incurring expenses for the services, food and transportation, which we are providing for your organization. I will be advocating to discontinue services to your organization if I have not received a signed MOU. And we still do not have a signed MOU to date.
She wouldn't sign that thing because of that transportation.
Yeah, she didn't want to pay for it.
That's why she
Well,
wouldn't.
that was harm and damage to her children.
Oh, I
And
know.
then we worked with
Yeah, but
them.
she don't live here, see.
Miss
I mean,
Brown.
she does, but,
Now,
Miss Brown.
Ms. Brown says
No,
she
I'm
has
talking-
seen
We're talking
one.
about Ms. Gaskin.
yeah,
Right,
yeah,
but she
don't
wants
live.
to say
Her letter
something.
that you wrote.
Now, Ms. Brown says she has seen a signed one. The district never received
We
one
didn't ever
back.
receive
No,
that.
we never did.
So, I mean, at this point, do you have a recommendation, or you just,
How we gonna recommend when we haven't, all of us haven't seen that MOU?
well, as far as the guidance she like what direction she wants to go?
Oh.
Like, with did you have time to do all the research you needed to do?
So keep trying to figure out the transportation piece because I know what the costs are. I mean, they kept running reports for me,
Okay.
what it was last year. And
what's-
it's, do we want to absorb the cost? And they keep paying food service, do we want to absorb it all? I mean,
Do we know what the costs are?
let me see if Sandy's.
And may I ask also, how many children are you guys serving? How many 4-year-olds, how many 3-year-olds? And I'm not saying it wouldn't matter if it was one, but it does
You're okay.
help to know.
So the funded slots that we have here in Madison County, we had 17 for Greenville, which we have those on hold. And in Madison, we have 34. We have 20 4-year-olds. We have 2 classrooms. One classroom is our 3-year-old classroom. It has 17 children. And the second classroom is our 4-year-old class, and it has 20 children.
Okay.
What we wanted to do was bring those 17 from Greenville over to the central school location, which again, Dr. Pickles offered us a classroom to be able to house those children. So again,
Do you know what the breakdown is of those 17 from Greenville?
As far as how many are 3s and how many are 4s. So we graduated, so of those 17, we had 9 to graduate. So they were 9 graduated,
4-year-olds.
9 4-year-olds, and the rest.
And 8.
So that's 8 3-year-olds. So the 9 graduated and are enrolled in kindergarten now. And
Okay.
those 8 students, we absorbed them into our Madison location because we wanted to make sure they were not left without. So they are 4. And they're in our program, so that's 8 children in Greenville who are trying to get from Greenville to the central school every morning. And that's probably the majority of the families that Ms. Hagan received the calls from are from Greenville. Literally, like we have a couple families that live in Sermon. You all that are familiar with Greenville, you know that's the outskirts of Greenville. And that family, they have 4 children, right? And so of the 4 children, 2 of them are older. The bus stops at the house, the road, pick them up. And then the other 2 that are in my program, which are literally standing with them, can't get on the bus. So the mom is standing there with them. And of course, those are the type of calls that I was getting, like, it doesn't make sense. They're picking up these 2. Why can't they pick up those 2? And I just tried to explain as, layman as I can that we are partners with the school district, but we are not the school district. We are a private entity, but we've worked with the school district all these years, and we've done that so seamlessly, people don't know that we're not, which is a good thing, that they don't know that we're a different program, which is how we wanted it to be. We wanted our children to be no different than any other child enrolled, because they're the same families. Literally 2 of them you all have, 2 of them we have. When the central school has a problem getting in touch with mom, they call us and we go to the house or we do whatever. So we're serving the same families, but because of these kind of logistical things, it's, we're kind of in a standstill. So those are the type of situations that we're having. We have older children who are getting on the bus, and then our 3 and 4-year-olds are unable to, and parents not understanding how all of this works. They're not understanding. So that's why the bus bond was getting a lot of calls. Mr. Ainsley, I spoke with him, and board members were getting calls because they didn't understand how come you're picking up these children, but you're not, because they're the same children, to us. So that's the dilemma that we're in.
I received calls too.
Oh, see?
Actually, that you told them you were not going to be providing transportation, because then I actually received calls. Why are you not transporting children to school? And I said, we are transporting children. No,
So-
in Greenville, they said you weren't. And I
Right.
said,
Okay, so do we have a ballpark on what these costs are?
No, I did not receive that from the assistant finance director. I thought I would have that this afternoon, because I had asked her to give me this year's
Maybe some of them
numbers.
big wigs, y'all guys gonna have to take a cut. Pay.
Duly noted.
You know what I'm saying? Help out a little bit.
Certainly, I think we need to get in the room. As you all said, you all know our CEO, Ms. Gaskin. I've told Dr. Pickles I'm here. I'll certainly be a liaison to make sure things are clear, understood. I'll certainly be that and communicate whatever to our central office. But I would certainly like for us to get into a room and get it squared away, and we're clear on both sides, whether that's providing transportation or not, meals or not, whatever it is. And again, those are the 2 big things, but it's so many other things that you all provide for us that
So
are
we
not
need a
meals,
workshop on that.
that are not transportation, that honestly currently we don't have in place. I mean, you all provide our ESC services. Of course, you all are going to provide the services for us, but technically we don't have an agreement. Of course, you all are going to feed our children. They ate all last week. We don't have an agreement, but you know what I mean? So of course, like you said, we've worked faithfully together. I know you all's heart, and you're never gonna let children, be without, but at the end of the day, it's business, and we gotta get the business part right. So I would love to
Board
work
members,
with you all.
Can I suggest this, please? Mr. Carroll, can I talk? Can I suggest this, please? Until we have that workshop, And until we get that memorandum of understanding and whatever, and we're already feeding those children, and we have two children who picked up and two children who ain't. Can we let those children, until we have that workshop and get everything all worked out and thinged out, that these children can get this transportation, and we should do this as soon as possible, get that all worked out.
I don't disagree with that.
Well, I don't disagree, but what is the liability on the
So
school board for that?
let's hold back, let's go back to, if Ms. Brown, if you'll come back up to the microphone. Let's go back and do it how we were transporting, that we have the other driver driving the bus to pick them up. Can we agree to workshop this next Monday, the 25th, so we can put it to vote on the 2nd then?
August
So they
25th, at
will-
what time?
6 o'clock, I think.
6, whatever time, 12, whatever time the playground.
4 in the morning.
I'm up at 4 in the morning.
Me neither.
After show will not be here 4 o'clock this morning.
Dr. Pickles, while everyone is
Sometimes I don't
looking,
get up until 5 o'clock, 4 o'clock in the afternoon.
We agreed at
that's that
6.
retired life.
6 o'clock.
Ms. Brown, can you be here at 6?
Yes, ma'am, I certainly
Okay.
can. Just for clarification, Dr. Pickles, when you said the separate bus, now, of course, the
Our
dynamics
two
are different.
buses
'cause
run
Green-
just like they did this past year.
Oh, you're going to do something different in Greenville as well?
Well, they may have to because of the routes.
Right,
Way
that's
out
what,
there in Sherman, and see, that's a distance.
right.
And so, it doesn't make a sense.
Right, to do a
right
separate
now,
bus.
To leave those two children, then send a bus way out
Yeah.
there, and they have to get up so early and whatever.
Yeah.
So if those two could, come on up, and, we do what.
Yeah, we didn't want to
have do for the
inconvenience
others.
what we were asking is the routes that you already have established. You didn't need to do anything different for us. We just wanted our children to be able to get on your existing routes, not to
So that we
necessarily
can
have to
give them
do
proper
anything
education
separate
until
for
we get
us.
them. And we're gonna have that workshop the 25th, and we can decide on everything then. How does that
Is that
sound?
satisfying the
I would-
liability portion?
If I could make a suggestion, if the board is intending to provide transportation for those students, then I think that's what the motion would be, to go ahead and provide that transportation. You've got another meeting coming up on September 2nd. I would say until September 2nd that would do. And then, of course, if y'all reach an agreement, then it continues on when y'all approve the
But
agreement.
that's what I wanted until we do this workshop and
Yeah.
decide on something.
And, but I would make it limited in that regard, and then what I'd probably do is just say that we're gonna provide transportation, leave to the superintendent how she's best able to do that as far as one bus or several buses or
Okay,
whatever.
Mr. Chair, I move that we give transportation to those children until September 2nd,
I would say continue providing transportation and meals.
and meals, transportation and meals
Right.
until September 2nd. And we will have a workshop by then to decide what we're going
Yes,
to
ma'am.
do.
And Dr. Pickles,
Second.
If
you
you'll
know
just
how to
speak
get
with
him.
me after,
Yes.
so I
And
make
we
sure I
can
have
go.
a list to give to
Yes,
Mr.
ma'am.
Hensley.
I have a motion by Ms. Hagan to provide transportation and meals for the
North Florida Child Development.
North Florida Child Development until September the 2nd.
You have a second from Gibson?
And I have a second from Ms. Gibson. Any more discussion on this?
I'm glad we're doing this because I feel like it contributes to the success of our school system. I mean, they're a high poverty area. They need all the help they can get, and I'm happy to see them get it.
All in
Yeah.
favor? 5-0.
Now,
Thank you all so much.
And wait a minute before we go, that was, I believe what that was disposing of 5.3, right?
Yeah, that
Yes, sir.
disposed of
Yes.
And then we're gonna get a
5.3.
memorandum.
So
of
now we gotta vote
understanding.
on,
So the only thing that was resolved on 5.3 was the transportation of the
Yes.
food through September 2.
Yeah.
And then now you've got to dispose of 5.1, 2, and 4.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept 5.1, 5.2, 5.4.
A second.
have a motion by Ms. Knight and a second by Ms. Thompson on the consent agenda for curriculum and grant awards, 5.1, 5.3, 5.4.
2 and 4.
1, 2, and 4.
1, 2, and 4. 1, 2, and 4.
Frankie.
All right. I'm all messed up. Any discussion? Any more? Not, all in favor? 5-0. Okay, here we go. Consent agenda item, financial and HR. And that'll be Mr. Copeland. 6.1 is financial statement. 6.2 is staffing plan updates. 6.3 is coordinator of special projects job description. 6.4 is personnel changes.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Am I talking in the mic? Okay. Let me hand you out some documents here. My intent was to get them to you sooner, but
Thank you.
I just got them.
Thank you, sir.
You get it.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. We kill more trees.
The first document will be our draft June year-end financial statements. Again, these will change when we narrow them down further, but they should not change significantly. And you'll see that we've got a budget to actual comparison. And in a nutshell, you'll see that we're projecting a year that's a little bit under our budget by our expenses are over budget by 2.4%, and our revenues on the top end are projected to be down just a bit. Those will probably shore up when we make some adjustments to our FEFP. I kind of want to explain the reason that we've had an abnormal year this past year with some terminal pay with administrators, and it's kind of skewed our payroll from what was originally budgeted. And so we're not looking at that as static going forward, but we do need to recognize it, and it is skewing the financials compared to what the original budget was. And then we also had some, as y'all are aware, some special hurricane pay that was well earned and deserved, but it just wasn't budgeted. And so I wouldn't get any kind of real heartburn over all that. But again, we're coming in at a projected deficit of $422,000 versus roughly a break-even point that we had budgeted. And that's a very high-level presentation on that, but I do want to let each of you know that please, I'll try to make these presentations succinct, but please stop me, come see me if we can get down in the weeds, or if y'all see something you want in more detail. I know one thing I've got to get to you is the expenditure reports. I've got them, I'll get them sent, and we'll make that an automatic thing. And so any questions on the projected June 2025 year end versus the budget?
No, yes, you're saying, and I understand those unexpected.
Everybody had to deal with
These
it.
people, when they leave, they want to pay. They want their pay. And we had a lot of them to leave.
Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We're understanding that.
Yes.
And then the hurricane, we might have another hurricane some other
No,
time.
ma'am. No, ma'am. No, ma'am. There'll be none of the
I'm
H
moving.
word. No H word here. Nope.
Not even hell.
I have asked Mother Nature for forgiveness, and I hope she's accepted, and we're moving forward.
Say hell no.
No,
No H word.
no hurricane.
Hey, the second page, I wanted to give you a brief snapshot of our tentative budget that we had approved a few weeks ago versus our projected financials that we just went over for June of 2025. And also I dropped in our 2024 audited financials you'll see in the far right column. I just want you to recognize the progression. The revenues are we know that we're projecting a decrease in FTE. And then you'll see our expenses were up some, as we just discussed, for the June 2025 year. And our tentative budget there, you see a pretty hefty, well, the deficit is projected to be up. But again, we will address the proposed changes to our salary schedule here later in the meeting. But this takes into account some of the hypotheticals with the increased pay that we're going to be rightfully, hopefully facing. And it also takes into account our projected decrease in our FTE. I wanted to show y'all this because I want y'all to know what we're doing to work to mitigate the increases that we're proposing to get our district in line with the salaries with the surrounding districts. We've got some areas that we feel we can offset the increases if we put our nose to the grindstone. And so some of those would be, number one, continue to manage our grants, monitor them better, push everything we can in the gray area or such into grant funds. Also, we feel we'll get we spend a huge amount of money in health insurance. Luckily, we did not have an increase this year, or we're not having one with our October renewal. We're one of a few districts. We're perfectly level. That kind of tells me we've been paying too much. But either way, we don't have an increase. We will be proposing a move to a self-insurance plan as we move into the year, and we feel like we can save 10 to 15%. That's what other districts have saved. That'll be a mitigating factor there. The reduction in our property and casualty, we have secured that for the Pinetta, Lee, and Greenville for this year, since we still own the buildings, but that will be going away when we divest of those. And then the operating and the facilities cost, we used a very conservative reduction for this year because we still have to keep the air running. We don't know how long we're going to hold them. And I'd rather the surprise be in the direction of a pleasant surprise than not. That's going to save us a chunk of money. And we've had a net decrease in some positions with the consolidation to offset some of the proposed salary increases. So it's going to be a heavy lift for us going forward. I don't want us to be totally negative, but I don't want us to be totally comfortable either. And so, but I feel that's the right thing to do, and that's y'all's decision. But so one thing we do have that a lot of districts don't have, we had a great year in 2024. I mean, we can afford to eat some of our seed corn, if you understand what I mean, but then we have to tighten up and make sure we're not operating too many years in a deficit position. Any questions?
How
Ms.
about the
Gibson?
school recognition for increasing school grades? What's the latest on that, or where do we stand with that?
I know we've received some proceeds for that, but Ms. Gibson, I can't effectively answer that question right now, but I can find out for you.
I've been asked that question, so
Okay.
So it was, the last understanding I had, there was one school that did not even have a plan for how they would distribute their funds. So only one of the two schools actually submitted a plan for how they would distribute those monies.
So one school submitted a plan, therefore only one school is,
For how they would distribute the monies.
okay.
So
So-
I will have to follow back up again to
Because
see.
I've had some complaints about that too. And they'll come to me complaining about, well, I
So,
worked there and I was supposed to have gotten some.
I've
I'm supposed to
actually
get it.
told the
And I told them when we get it
principals,
completed, they will know it's not completed yet.
I've actually told both principals, right now, please go ahead and start working on, if you should improve, how you will distribute those monies.
Okay, well, can you give us an update at the next meeting then on that?
Yes.
Okay. How about the update on the ag barn at Madison County High School? I'm not sure who's going to give me,
I can address that. I actually talked to Mr. Rutherford today.
okay,
Trying to resolve that with insurance.
Okay.
One more time. So there are some delays with insurance, trying to receive the funding with that.
Okay.
And so when we think we have it resolved, I have a whole list of items, a spreadsheet, that we are still kind of resolving items. And I keep pressing our insurance carrier because I'm getting the pressure from FEMA to resolve these items. So he and I talked today. He said, let me talk to her one-on-one instead of us trying to do these calls. Mr. Ginn has been on the call, so it's kind of like we feel like our hands are tied. We're trying to figure out what else needs to be resolved. So when I spoke to Mr. Rutherford today, he was going to try to see what else. It's almost like they're holding up everything on one or two little items.
okay, well, if you could keep us updated on that.
It's actually the greenhouse is what is the issue at the moment.
When I asked about it last time, the only thing that they needed to resolve everything was the quote from the electrician
That
for the electrical aspect of the
It's the greenhouse
greenhouse.
piece that's holding everything up right now.
So did we
For
get
them.
a quote from an electrician?
We've already done that.
Okay, well, I was told that was the only thing that was holding everything up, and so now we're on to a new list.
Well, let's get an
Waiting
update
to
in
just
2
finish
weeks.
finding
Okay.
out what else they want.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
Thank you, Mr. Copeland.
thank you, Mr. Copeland. Appreciate it. All right,
No, he has more.
you got more?
I have more.
He has all four of those.
Be
Oh, you
here
got
for
them
a
all
little
four?
bit.
Oh, go on with it, buddy.
They fall under finance and HR.
I'll try to make it brief. All right, you want to move to staffing plan updates. Y'all should see it in your package, but basically have some proposed changes. Madison County High School, historically, there was a principal, 2 APs, and 1 dean. We were proposing going from 2 APs to 2 deans and no AP. Essentially, feel that the duties can get, the services can be provided, and also it will save the district roughly $20,000 if you throw the benefits in there. The next one is move bridge assistant principal position to a district level position. And there's a job description that's in the next portion of the agenda, that's the coordinator of special projects. That would be this position, and this position would still manage the bridge of the schools, because please keep in mind that as we talk about audit findings, this is the audit findings from the waypoint. And where it's not going to hurt us right now, it is going to hurt us in a couple of years when they go back and take FTE back funding from us. So there needs to be oversight there, but district level, this position, Mr. White's already been helping greatly with special projects. For example, the school moves, risk management, and we do have, quite a few FMLA issues, workers' comp issues, and I don't think we could handle it without someone in the position.
Okay, can I stop you a minute? This is what's happening because we're not voting on this.
Yes,
You
ma'am.
jumped down to 6.3, but I'd like to jump back up to 6.2.
We're on
I
6.2.
apologize, I didn't mean to.
No, we went down to the position where you just got through talking about.
No, he was
I
just saying it's
referencing the
referenced.
position
Oh, you're just
that I was-
referencing that, okay.
I was referencing it.
All right,
so
you can, so
kinda-
you're still on 6.2 then?
Still on 6.2.
Okay, all right, well,
And again, it's a much needed position here, and there's no pay change.
Mr. Attorney, when we create a position, the board has to create positions, don't we?
That's correct.
So, I mean, that's a moot
I
point
understand.
right there. So the board has to decide if we want that position or not, and it has to be decided in a meeting instead of you telling us what has been done. The board has to create that position.
I don't think he's telling
We
us
know,
it's been done, he's
I
asking
was
and
asking
proposing it.
But
to
there's already a
consider
name
the,
attached.
But see, it's a name attached to it, and it has to be brought before the
Right.
board first before we create any new positions,
I
the board
probably-
has to approve it.
Misspoke and understood. And, but just talking through the position that maybe y'all will consider approving, I think it's
Well, then it's too soon to talk about that. Superintendent need to talk about it first with us.
understood.
And then it goes on, filters on down the line.
While that is true, the board does approve positions. The superintendent recommends the people for those positions.
And we're not talking about the people, we're talking about the position.
Right.
And so that position has to be recommended by the board and included in our position plans and all of that.
I agree. And I think that's what he's trying to explain and ask
But I'm
for.
understanding, I understood something different. And he's trying to explain it now. I'm not understanding what you're saying, I'm understanding what I'm hearing from him. And then the position has not been approved yet.
I think he's presenting that to ask for our approval.
And he's not supposed, the superintendent's supposed to the board. See, what I'm saying is too early to discuss that, because the superintendent has not brought it to the board, and then she brings it to the board, and then the board discusses whether we want that or not, and then he come on and give some more information about it. Policy.
Glad to stop on it.
Policy.
Dr. Pickles, would you
Okay,
like to
I'll
recommend?
pull the HR back.
Yeah.
So, under the first one, the principal wanted to, because we did not have an AP, I
You see, all
spoke
that
with
should have
her.
been discussed with us.
I spoke with her, asked her if she wanted me to advertise the position. After speaking to the former chancellor, he said people are not even wanting to be an AP anymore. We had even offered it to somebody that had applied, they turned it down. So she said, I said, what do you want to do? So she's the one that said that she wanted to make it a dean, so that's where we're able to go that
She doesn't
way.
get to do that decision.
So,
she
The
doesn't.
decision rests with the board. I mean, that's a suggestion that she can make, but the decision works with the board, and then if we no longer want that assistant principal position, we decided, and then if we want the other position, then we have to decide if we're gonna add that position, and then the other position that he was talking about, policy.
And
It's in our policy.
So hers is, her and Miss Brown are both wanting to convert where we had already previously approved the third AP after Miss Anderson left. So she just wants to convert hers to a fourth dean. And
See,
right
they're
now,
doing stuff that I
Yeah.
don't know anything about.
And I don't even
And it's
know the
in
names
place.
of the people. I've asked for a
And-
week
I mean,
for
so
it.
it's in place, but I don't know anything about it. And it's already in place, so the principals are getting to decide what they want to decide, so they're board members, so they, but they have no voting privileges.
actually, if you'll recall,
But it
Miss
still has to
Brown-
go to the board, Ms.
Miss
Whitman,
Brown
that's all
had
that I'm saying.
actually wanted to, before, have the 4 deans. And then we went back to the 3 APs, so 3 APs and 3 deans, trying to support this school during the
Every time
consolidation.
do that same thing.
So then we left it at 3 APs and 3 deans. When Miss Anderson left to join Gadsden, she said she felt like that something was telling her she was not supposed to have 3 APs. She needed to have just the 2 APs that had been with her all summer and possibly just go back to the 4 deans. So she wanted to bring it back to the board to go with 4 deans. 4 deans are less expensive, especially in light of going to the raises.
And I
Deans
understand
are
what
at
you're saying.
teachers.
So maybe we should workshop that when we workshop, and that should put on the agenda to workshop that on the August 25th. Because you just can't change and put in a position without,
That's what they're asking for the board to vote on right now.
no ma'am, we've not had a discussion on it.
That's what
And I
we're
didn't
doing.
hear him ask for that vote, but I asked that we workshop that so everybody, it would be fair and it would be clear. See, I'm not trying to get by for this or for that, I'm not for this person or that person. All I want it to be is fair and clear and not out, skirt the policy that we have in place, however we feel.
And I don't see how we can call this consent. These are 4 separate, distinct items.
Well, we're discussing them.
That's what-
Yes,
I
but,
understand what you're saying,
but
I'm
you're
not
called,
understanding what
but
other
it was
board
called
members-
consent.
and what
That means you
what
have one
Thompson
vote.
is saying, board member Thompson
Right.
is saying.
I understand where
In
you're
other
coming
words-
from.
Understanding that, because nothing has been approved by us.
Okay,
And
that
my
means,
And
intent
then
was
you're
not
not
to-
asking for it.
Not to,
Don't put words in people's mouth.
okay, consent means I approve of this list of things. That's what consent means.
I've sat on 9
These things
boards, I
should be.
understand.
Yeah, I know, you
Yeah.
know. Okay, but right now, we're having this discussion, and there's 4 distinct items there
And some
that
of
need
them
our
have
attention, and they
Significance
each
and
need a vote.
importance.
But
Then
they-
it
but
should
they-
be advertised, you know, that we're going to do that, so that we have public input on it too.
This has
And
been
the
on
public would
the,
know.
this has been on the agenda. all
I've never
week.
seen it on the agenda, Devin. Can you pull it up and show me?
It's right here.
Yeah, right.
It's right here.
Mm-hmm.
I've seen it since last week.
Mhm.
This very document has been on the agenda for a week.
Okay, but it has not been approved by the board nor recommended. We
That's-
haven't workshopped it or anything.
We don't
All
normally
these things-
workshop
No.
positions, not staffing tables, we do
Mhm.
not.
So, I know that we create, Mr. Attorney, we create positions and we do away with positions, the board.
But are they
Not the
recommended by the
principals.
superintendent?
So,
Yeah, they can be voted.
so the superintendent recommends both the positions and the people to fill the positions. The difference is that the board does not have the authority to reject positions absent good cause. But the school board has the final decision on creating and disposing of positions. So and the board is allowed to do that how the board would like. If you would like to consider it tonight, you can consider it tonight. If the board wants to have a workshop and consider it later, the board can have a workshop
I
and
sure
consider it
would
later.
like to have that workshop so I can see all these opinions and differences in things. Not that I'm against it or anything like that, but I want to be thoroughly invested. When I speak on it, I want to speak on it correctly and properly, not a sudden. These people watching us with these board meetings now, and I'm getting too many calls.
Are you finished with 6.1?
We were on 6.2.
Yeah,
You're
I'm
finished?
finished with the whole
All
section.
I'm asking Madam Superintendent and Madam Chair, that we're having a workshop. Let us see what you're talking to him about, Devin.
I said,
No, you-
Mr.
you
Chair.
You call me Madam
I
Chair.
said,
Okay.
Mr.
Okay,
Chair.
well, address it to me, because I wouldn't say it, Madam Chair. Mr. Chair,
Yes, sir.
all I'm asking, and Madam Superintendent, all I'm asking is we're workshopping something Monday, that we bring this and workshop this Monday too, and we can decide whatever the pros and the cons of it.
So are you talking about the whole 6.0?
No, those positions.
Okay, that would be,
That'd be 6.2
that
and
would be
3.
6.2 and 6.3,
We're on
I guess.
6.2.
2 and 3.
All right.
You're talking about 2 and 3, but we've never workshopped this before, so I'm,
How long you served?
since I have been on the board, we
Okay,
have never,
okay,
we've
that's
never
what you should
workshopped
say,
it.
Because I've served 14 previous years, there's never been this much confusion about anything like that. And why, I mean, it's just a workshop, and majority rules.
Well,
And majority rules, and when majority rules, I'm good with it.
Okay,
Well,
so
finish
Mr.
it.
Chair, I would like to make a motion to accept consent agenda items for financial and HR.
Not
all
on this,
six-
this is illegal and it's improper.
I mean, do
And
we
you
want to
have
move on to do
repercussions behind it.
The
6.3?
majority rules, so.
I mean,
No, after stuff has been worked
Let's-
out,
let's-
after it
let's
has
get-
been presented by the
Okay.
superintendent to us.
We need to get back
It
to
was
the-
never presented from the superintendent to us.
Mr.
I'm
Copeland,
not
Dr. Pickles, would you
I'm
like
not
to
against.
present, would you like to
Proceed.
present?
Mr.
Oh,
Copeland, could you please present 6.3?
I'm not finished with 6.2.
I'm not either, I haven't addressed it.
Well, by all means.
This is
So-
ridiculous.
So, Mr. Chairman, what you probably need to do is go down the line. I think we're on 6.2, and see if any board member wishes to make any further comments on 6.2. Then we can move to 6.3, 6.4, ultimately disposing of them with motion second and a majority vote. That motion could be to grant, deny, or have it considered at a workshop coming up. That's all within the discretion of the board.
Okay. All right.
But it seems
Okay.
as though it has been put in place already, is what I'm saying. It has been put in place. It's in place, that's all I'm saying. And it's been brought up to me by old veteran people and whoever. I get all these calls from these veteran people who know all these policies and procedures and people watching. they're watching these board meetings now, and then they'll call you and worry about it and whatever. And there's only so much I can do. Just bring it in the open. Like I said, I can put it on the table, and all I can do is put it on the table.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Okay, 6.2 staffing plan updates. First of all, let me address assistant principals. Assistant principals are trained to be assistant principals. They have a bachelor's degree, they have a master's degree in educational leadership. They evaluate teachers, they have a whole list of things that they do, basically helping the principal. Okay, the principal at the high school does not have the authority to say, I want this, or, give me the, okay, she can say it. That doesn't mean she's gonna get it. Okay, we had originally at the high school, let's see, you had a principal, and there was gonna be two assistants, I think, right? Yes. All right, they're made into 2 deans. We already had a dean. The staffing table says 1 dean. We had a staffing table approved on April 7th. It was revised on May 19th, and today is 8/18.
People listening to that,
Okay,
and they know this.
so in other words, we've had 1 dean at the high school. Everything's running smooth. We have less people at the high school than there has ever been in the history of Madison County. Our numbers are extremely low, 477 right now. It's never been there. And you just gave us a little list, Mr. Copeland, of how I'm going to save money, and we haven't gotten to that point yet. And I'm all for paying teachers. If anybody on this board, this is the teacher that's been doing the teaching all these years. I am all for paying our teachers, especially teachers that haven't been paid appropriately. All right, and then you gave us a whole list. This takes money. We're gonna save $15,000. Where? When you spend money, you're gonna save. I've been handling money a long time. When I spend money, I'm not saving money. And this is what's happening here. Okay, but then again, let's get back to that assistant principal. That person, the high school principal needs the assistant principal. Deans are a teacher like the rest of us. What they do, Mrs. Gibson has a problem in the classroom, calls up, okay, send a dean, get the kid out of there, take him to a whatever. Deans, they're not going to evaluate the child, they're not going to counsel. In other words, what qualifications do they have to be an assistant, to take the place of an assistant principal?
But it's not, Mr. Copeland.
No, it's not, I just happened to zero it.
Well, I think,
But I mean, in other
the-
words, why are we, what was you said you couldn't find it? Okay, this goes back to something else that Dr. Pickles alluded to. Many meetings. I haven't a study done, and they're going to tell us about this, how many people, you've mentioned that study many times. I don't know what month. If you want me to, I can do all the research. But I never saw the study.
So it was not a written study, it was a spreadsheet allocation
Okay,
plan
all right.
that was presented.
Did you get it?
Yes, it's actually, I've shared it with Mr. Copeland.
Okay, well, I'm making
We
a
are
records
putting-
request, Mr. Reeves, Tammy. Right now, I want to see that. Not right now, but I'm requesting, I want to see this. Because I don't think anybody in their
I'd
right...
like to see it too.
I don't think anybody in their right mind is going to do a study that says, oh, Madison counties, we're actually becoming the laughing stock of the counties. We are so top-heavy that it's unbelievable. And this money goes, we're taking it away from our employees.
Just a second. Go ahead, Mr. Buck.
Your staffing plan that you approved
I don't
your
approve all these staffing plans now.
that this board approved was built on that spreadsheet.
Well,
that the
I never
FAS
saw the spreadsheet that you kept alluding to.
Yes, ma'am, you did.
Yes, we all did.
Each one of you
Well, then you
saw
have to
that
give me another
spreadsheet.
copy of it then, because I don't miss too much, but okay, I want, and
Mine
I have all the
myself.
staffing plans now. I mean, I've got every staffing plan that we've had for the past,
The staffing plan this board approved was built on the
right,
spreadsheet that
well-
each one of you saw that showed where we were making cuts
Okay.
and where we were changing
all right,
things.
but I still want to see a copy of it that you got, because you kept talking about that.
Well, that's going to have to be changed
And-
because it has funding strips. That is
Okay.
a living document.
All right.
The Word document, the staffing plan, is what the Word document is what
All
that's
right, but-
created from.
All right, okay, that's okay, we'll set that aside now. All right, but getting back to this, And then, not only that, Central, okay, 4 deans. Okay, you know what? It just so happens I contacted, just out of curiosity, some other district right around us. Okay, we got Columbia High School, 3,000 students. No deans, they got 1 principal, 3 APs, they do have 4 counselors, because when you got 3,000 students, you have to keep on top of everything. All right, Riverside Elementary in Suwannee County, 900 kids, 1 principal, 1 AD, 1 D. I mean, they're running a tight ship. They have money problems like we do, but we're throwing money away like it's, like it's some poor thing that just won the lottery, and the only thing they know to do with it is spend it.
I don't see how you
And
get
that's why
that.
we shouldn't even be talking about Greenville. Yes, they need a bus, but why not give them the bus, or let them have transportation, whatever they want? But it just seems, we are so top-heavy compared to these other districts. I mean, I could go on and on and on. I've contacted Jefferson County, 850 people, 1 principal, 2 ADs, 1 dean. It makes you think, and the public is saying this, how come they need 4 deans?
Are they saying that, or are you saying that?
I'm not lying up here.
Everything
I
else
can make
that
this
public
up.
tells me, and Madam Superintendent, this is what I wanted to tell, and what they're calling me about and saying that principal is new out there.
Yeah, she
And
needs
she's new out
support.
there, and she needs support, and with us getting rid of that assistant principal, she doesn't even know anything about the district, about the school, or anything like that. Now, that's what I have old heads calling me, telling me about. And everything I tell this board, people are calling me, telling me about it. And all I can tell them is I will put it on the table. I will let everybody know, what they are talking to me about. There's nothing I can do about it. I have 1 vote. But they are calling and saying that that lady is new. The principal out
Yes,
there
ma'am,
is new.
she is.
And
Okay.
that they don't see how she can function and do a proper job without an assistant principal, because there are duties and responsibilities that she does, and then duties and responsibilities that the assistant principal does. And that's what happened.
Well, who are I don't know who the deans are at the high school. I know Dr. Blue's been the dean.
Now, he could be an assistant principal too, because he's a doctor.
Well,
But, let's.
you could be a doctor too if you want to.
I am a
Does he have the
doctor. I'm a
certification?
doctor of bus driver.
Does Dr. Blue have a certification? Is he, I'm just asking,
He-
I don't know these things.
I don't,
He's big time certified.
but see now, right now.
We just going round and round and round.
I would like to remind this board that we provided the extra support to Central School this year, 1, due to consolidation, and 2, due to the Greenville closure, and we have to support those students for the next 3 years.
And I remember talking on that, and I agreed with that, but I'm talking, about the high school. I remember, and I
all right.
agreed with you with that. I talked about it
So
too.
one of
that
the
they need that
reasons we
extra
look
help.
top-heavy at Central School is because of providing the extra support because of consolidation
Okay, can I?
and the Greenville.
But I would
got you.
also like to say that we're not actually top-heavy because we haven't even
We are
filled
not.
all of the positions that we approved on the staffing
Okay,
application.
you said because
Well, top heavy
they,
now means administrators.
they
I
closed
understand that,
the
but we didn't
school.
fill all the ones that we
They're
said
not-
we were going to.
They're not,
No.
what administrators are not
We
in
don't,
position?
we don't have those AP positions filled.
And that's the point
Okay,
is,
but I thought we had cut them out.
Yeah.
no, we haven't. That's the whole point is currently, the staffing plan that this board approved has the AP at the high school.
So have they been?
It is not filled. That
Okay,
is
well,
the,
that's what I'm saying. And we had that presentation that we would not have an assistant principal.
that is what they are proposing, the
That's
change.
exactly, that's,
At
well,
this
anyway,
current-
can we workshop this, Mr. Chair?
Well, now, let's see.
I mean, we having a workshop.
Yeah,
Because see, it's not a proposal. These things have been put in place.
Okay, all right, we're gonna, I want a motion to workshop this, when's September 25th? That's Monday? What's-
Monday night.
Yeah, Monday,
But this
September 25th.
position has been put in place, so you.
I
All right, so are we
We
just,
double talk.
We're gonna,
okay, so,
we can approve the financial statement if y'all want to, but,
well, we could
the
do
other stuff-
personnel changes.
Well, we do, except for,
Well, one of those
got the
personnel
mark.
changes
Yeah.
is one of the dean positions that would be dependent on the staffing plan update.
right, we have to disregard that one.
So I need to remove Mr. Brown and Mr. White.
Okay,
Okay, so, Mr. Chair, I move 6.2 and 6.3 to workshop scheduled for Monday, the 25th.
Okay, I have a motion by Ms. Knight. Do I have a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Hagan to workshop the
6.2 and
6.2 and 6.3.
All I wanna know is this, we can have, create this position. That's all I'm trying to be
Yeah.
legal, to create these
6.2 and
I understand.
6.3.
Yes.
Workshop Monday, September 25th, 6 o'clock.
Yes, sir.
Okay, any more discussion on that?
Yes, when you got names under personnel, I'd like to know how much they're making. Are they going to be making 100,000, 50,000? I mean, in other words, is that a secret? I'd like to know the other information. Everyone that is employed with us has a salary. I'd like to know what they make.
Every one of them
They
has a
have the
salary.
salary listed on my,
Well, it didn't have it earlier today when I looked at
So,
it.
every one of them has a salary listed.
The salary
may be
you were
listed.
questioning was Mr. White, and in the staffing update, it was stated that it's the same salary, that there would be no change.
That was not on there this afternoon
It was
because I had this.
under- It
Yeah, I've
was
seen
under
this.
the updates.
Patrick
was
White's
at the
name was
session.
there, but not his salary.
Mr. Chairman,
And I was on
So-
this thing right before I came into the meeting.
So you
Okay,
got a
but that has
motion,
nothing to do with the motion that I have
No,
on
it
the
has nothing
table.
to do
So
with
let's
it.
go ahead and
Okay.
take a vote on what I have on the table.
6.2 and
6.2, workshop, all in favor? 5-0. Move on, move on.
We gotta do 6.4.
6.4, personnel changes with
Okay.
the exception
Mr. Brown
of
and
So-
Mr. White.
Mr. Brown,
So,
Mr. White.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the personnel changes with the exception of the two that we will workshop, Mr. White and Mr. Brown.
Okay, got a motion by Ms. Knight. Do I have a second?
second.
Second by Ms. Thompson to approve the personnel changes with the exemption of Mr. Brown and Mr. White. Any discussion? All in favor? All opposed? There'd be one,
I asked that one.
4 to 1.
and now you've not had a motion on 6.1, so you need to,
Oh, yeah, I need a motion on 6.1.
Mr. Chair, I move to accept the financial statement as presented.
Second.
Motion by Ms. Knight, second by Ms. Hagan to approve the financial statement as given. Any more discussion on that?
to move to workshop,
All in favor?
6.2 and 6.3.
5-0. All right,
So, Mr. Chair, that workshop is going to be on the,
25th,
the school and, positions.
yeah.
I just asked that one position, that's all what they asked me about. They wanted an assistant principal. That's
I got
all.
you, I got you.
Well, my thing is, we need to support the schools with what they need and want. And going out there and meeting and seeing what's happening makes a difference in you making a decision in what they do need and want.
Absolutely.
So, I've gone out there and I've met with the principal and I've discussed with her, and what she needs, what she wants, and what's working and what's not working. So
Okay.
it makes it easier for me to make
What
this.
she needs and want and what is and what is not working because she's not even ever been out there.
All right.
I worked out there damn day.
I can
She
say-
has been out there.
I can say I've been
Can we
at
move
Central
on?
every day since
Can we
school
move on?
started, and it's really, again,
Let's move on.
Yeah,
move
you
on.
don't- you don't
Workshop,
have to
let's
be.
Move on,
And
move
that's why
on.
school board members really are
Excuse
not
me?
supposed to be doing that. We don't run the schools, the superintendent run the schools.
It's
The
not
school
about-
board members
it's
can
not
go out there
acquired.
sometimes, but when you're out there every day, you're interrupting classes and the principal.
Please, let's
Okay.
move on.
Okay.
Jesus.
hold my hand.
7.1.
7.1, staff travel.
Complaints
Dr.
about
Pepper.
class.
7.1.
Before you tonight are two staff travel. I will be going to St. Augustine on Wednesday to present before the State Board of Education. I will also go next month. And then there's the FAD's Fall Leadership Conference. So I do ask for your approval. Both will come from Title II.
Okay, do I have a motion to approve staff travel?
I move to approve the staff travel.
Have a second?
Second.
Second by motion by Ms. Thompson, second by Ms. Knight to approve the staff travel. Any discussion on the staff travel?
Yes, I have a little discussion. Is this a training for superintendents?
The FAD's,
Yes.
it's for superintendent and a designee, because we're discussing PIO duties and how to promote. So I need to bring somebody with me.
Thank you.
Okay. Do I have a motion? I had a motion.
Yeah, motion and a second.
Okay, all right. All in favor? 5-0. Okay, 8.1, Madison County High School refrigeration. Mr. Gann?
Good morning, Board. Good afternoon, Board.
It's almost morning, brother.
What I've got in front of you tonight is a quote to replace the refrigeration equipment in the oldest of the 2 walk-in freezers that's at the high school. The equipment in there was 20-plus years old. We lost it here about a week ago. We got the price of around to just replace the half that was on the outside with over half the cost of a new system, what a new system would cost. If I replace the outside with new, and I still got 20-something-year-old equipment inside, so it don't make good sense to me to not replace the whole thing when I've replaced it. The second component to that is in the freezer, the floor, with all the traffic over the years and everything, it messed up the floor, so we've got to have a new floor put in it. And that $1,200 is the replacement of the floor inside the freezer. So, my suggestion, DC Refrigeration, they've done me a good job in the past and been very reasonable, so.
All right. Do I have a motion for 8.1, Madison County High School refrigeration?
Chair, I move that we take the recommendation of Mr. Gann to replace the whole components and replace that floor.
Okay.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Hagan, a second by Ms. Gibson for approval of the Madison County High School refrigeration as stated by Mr. Gann. Any more discussion on it? All in favor? 5-0.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Ratification and approval of the 2025-26 salary schedule.
So, Mr. Copeland, as he comes up, I am pleased to present to you our new salary schedule for approval. It was ratified by the union today. The instructional, there were 106 yes and 1 no. And then our ESP staff, there were 67 yeses and nobody voted against it.
Okay.
So the way this will work, and correct me if I am wrong, so staff have until the end of September to verify and validate all of their experience. October and November, we will take the time to enter all their experience. We have received several requests already and validated those requests, and we will upload those requests. And I actually personally responded to one via email and sat on the floor in there, pulled their file and went through year by year because they worked for the district the entire time. So sat through, comes to 3 of us to validate. And so verified that. So I think this is something that's been long coming for our employees to address retention. And so I'm pleased to now present this to you for your approval. So as we discussed in executive session, it was kind of, I think, a little tense there going back and forth. There's also the ESC. There's 9 individuals that will also receive a supplement. So those 9 individuals, they will receive a supplement in December and May for conducting their IEPs and writing their IEPs and conducting their IEP meetings. So I do recommend your approval, and I know we will have some very happy teachers.
Mr.
And then
Chair.
this will be retro in their December pay.
Mr. Chair, I very gladly recommend that we accept the staff salary
And,
ratification.
Second.
Have a motion by Ms. Knight and a second by Ms. Thompson to approve the ratification of the 2025-26 salary schedule.
No.
Is there any discussion?
Yeah.
Yes, Madam Superintendent, can you let them know the raise beginning teachers, you know?
Beginning
amount.
teachers now go to 47.5, and we have addressed retention all the way through. And even our support staff, I've worked diligently to make sure everyone receives something.
Yes, ma'am.
So.
Can you speak a little bit about our veteran teachers fund?
I used our target of about 20 years. So there are some teachers that will receive about a $12,000 raise come December. So they will go up quite a bit. So that's the reason, working with Mr. Copeland to make sure I do not give him a heart attack. We are definitely
I'm buying you
watching
some
our
Tums, buddy.
numbers.
We'll figure it out.
We will definitely watch the numbers, making sure we have everybody categorized to, if they're supposed to be coming out of a grant, we identified those individuals. So we are very aware.
And I was told a
It's-
flood of people trying to
Okay.
get their years in.
Actually, I think we've only received 7 requests
I think
as of
it's
now,
less
so
than
that
10
I
right
expect
now.
more.
Talking about it
So,
and asking me about years of experience and whatever, and I can't tell them, I say, put it on you.
once I get one, we put a little check mark and put them in green.
Okay.
And so he watches his numbers when we work on our spreadsheet. So I'm very pleased. If nothing else gets accomplished during my term, I'm very pleased. Because this, even when I was a board member,
Exactly.
Ms. Hagan, you and I both know that
We
this
have been
was
trying and
something.
we've been fair
Yes.
and equal as much as we could in giving them. And
Yes.
that's what we've done. We have given them as much as we could give them.
That was
And I'm
the,
pleased, with what we have given, with the amount of money that we have.
Walter said we're gonna keep him up at night
That-
with some
that-
heartburn. I'm gonna buy you some
I came
Tums.
back after being on the negotiating team my last tenure, and that was the best one I had. But it's gone, again, we've got to watch our P's and Q's, and it's gonna be a lift.
Absolutely.
We will watch it every month. I think it will also help in some of our teachers leaving and going to our neighboring districts. They will stay, and we may see some wanting to come back, and especially with the salaries the way they are now.
That's wear and tear.
But, I don't have positions now.
Wear and tear on their cars and the gas.
Yeah.
All right. Any more discussion? Any more?
I'd like to say that I'm all for it. Teachers deserve it. There's no doubt about it. I am concerned about declining enrollment, and I'm going to leave it up to the superintendent and a finance officer to make it happen. Because you did mention it's about $1 million or more. So it's gonna be a hefty-
It's a variable based on the years that
On
end
the
up
years.
dropping
It's
in.
gonna
But
do-
yes,
yes,
ma'am, you're
yeah,
correct.
yeah. So it's
With the
gonna be a-
benefits added in,
Yeah.
it's,
Yeah, I think our last number was around 800,000, but that did not include the benefits.
you've got about a 30% bump to that with the benefits that we cover.
So we know it's about $1 million.
But that's when I was discussing the mitigating factors. We've got to find those, and we've got to offset this. Yeah, so.
Well, that's all the more reason to run a tight ship. It takes money to do all this.
Okay, any more discussion?
Vienna.
All in favor?
Vote.
5-0.
Thank you so much. I'm sure all of the staff online are clapping and cheering right now because they know they're going to have a great Christmas.
Well, it's
All right.
very well deserved.
8.3, request to advertise board policies. These are our policies from Neola, right?
All our Neola policies, and I kept trying to copy them and paste them on there and kept having problems. They'd disappear on me and I was getting frustrated, so.
And these are the policies that we're supposed to update.
From
That
Neola.
they have given us.
Yes.
Nothing that the board is trying
No.
to do.
Just
These
Neola
are the- I'm just
policies.
explaining to the public.
Yeah.
Just
Because they ask
Neola
you questions.
policies.
These are-
Actually,
Saving the phone calls.
These are policies that we're not implementing, has been implemented by the legislators or the governor of whoever, but not by the board, as they're being updated.
Right.
Actually, these are some that are kind of past due.
Yes.
And you'll get another one the next round because I'm anticipating Neola sending us a group of policies. So we will request to advertise these for the 28 days.
Okay. I have a motion to advertise the board policies.
Mr. Chair, I move that we advertise the board policies.
A second.
I have a motion by Ms. Hagan, a second by Ms. Thompson to advertise the board policies. Any discussion? All in favor? 5-0.
Thank you, we will get those advertised. I will-
Okay, superintendent.
I will try to be quick. I have some updates. I did send you an email requesting what I would do with the facilities monies after listening to the students. I think that's the best use of our monies that we receive from, that we generate from the facility usage. So I recommend and propose, I just gotta redirect those monies that come in. It's not a whole lot of money that we get. It's not like it's $10,000 or anything, but it's, every little bit helps. So we'll redirect that to the Booster Club to help with the non-revenue sports and clubs. I also have an update on the band instrument truck. Mr. Ansley was able to find out the part to repair the truck is only going to cost about $80, and then it needs a tune-up. So with labor, it'll be about $300. So he's going to go ahead and get that fixed for them.
Has anybody checked the tires? Because as long as that thing's been sitting there, it's gonna need some tires on it too.
That's exactly.
They
He's
use it.
apparently,
I bet it's old.
How
he's
old is the
apparently
truck?
had Ben's check the truck out.
Okay.
And
I think it's great, but I'm just saying, I would definitely check the
Exactly.
tires, because it's been parked in that same spot for at
I
least 3
will.
years.
And
No,
then, exactly,
they
and
use the
then
truck
I'm
last
asking
year.
how
They used it
old is
last
that
year.
truck?
I bet it's
No,
old.
they-
That truck's been broke
That's what I'm
down.
asking.
It's been
And
broke
then
down
it
for a
might
hot
take
minute.
that for those parts to be replaced, but when it gets on the road, how it's gonna fare.
I will have him check the tires too.
Yeah, I would just make sure the
I will have
tires are
him do
good.
a good thorough
I think that's great.
If you can ask Mr. Ansley how old is the truck,
and age.
I would like that information, how old is
Yes,
it?
ma'am.
And the inside, interior and all that good stuff. And if that needs to be replaced, because if it has sat for 3 years, there's a lot of more stuff wrong.
Yeah, it's been sitting.
Inventory with our vendor that's going to do our auction began today. So would you like to present one of the items we found at Greenville? Walked in a building that we thought was kind of empty and happened to find this item today.
For me?
Yes, ma'am.
You can
And
use
so,
that.
what is this?
That's a Frankie Carroll special.
Okay.
Frankie used to wear that one.
That's way too
You
small
probably
for Frank.
Yeah, let
Wait.
everybody know what it is. It's a helmet.
It's a helmet.
Yeah.
That's a football helmet.
1950s football helmet.
Okay.
From Greenville.
And it's presented to me.
Yes.
So we
I'm gonna find you the
also
logo
have one.
and print the stickers.
Okay,
put on
thank
there.
you. All right.
So we also have
This is
one.
an old football helmet. I can remember when we were the Pirates at Greenville High School, and I graduated from there. And Madison County High School said that if Greenville won that football game, they would move the courthouse to Greenville. Greenville won that game, and they built us a replica courthouse and sent it to us. And I don't know what happened to that, but you know, we would like to have that too, if you can find that. That's if you can find that.
That was probably
And that
in the
was
old
way
high
back
school.
when with the Greenville Pirates. That was before.
Courthouse
A lot of
replica.
history.
Add that to the hunt list. That is so cute.
And we do have another one to pass on to Ms. Day too for the treasurer, so.
Yeah, probably ask for that.
So there's something that
Thank
Mr.
you, Ms.
Ginn
White.
left. So there, we had a trespasser at Lee this weekend, and so Mr. Ginn brought that to our attention. And then it's also been turned over to Mr. Knight.
I didn't
A
hear that.
We had
trespasser-
somebody trespass at Lee.
Trespassing at Lee, but they can jump right over the fence.
Yeah.
Because it's a short fence. We are in the process or earlier of saving some bees from Greenville. They were in one of the old buildings.
They've been there for a
So-
long time.
Say what's a who?
The bees.
Oh,
Honeybees.
okay.
You remember they've been there for a while?
Honeybees.
You and Devin went over there for that, I did.
So,
They cut that tree down.
Taking the
They went to
bees.
cut the tree, I didn't.
so, and then lastly, I have an after-action report for your reading pleasure, and then I will let you have this on our mold remediation, and then we will approve it at the next board meeting so that we can then post this online
The after-action report for the mold.
on the mold.
Oh.
We did it
we
after
did
action.
so-
You ask and you shall receive. Thank you, sir.
One thing.
Yeah, can you give us a summary?
Can you give us a summary?
So I think
No,
it's
I want you
April
to read
1st.
this, because I'm gonna ask you questions from random
It has
pages.
every,
I didn't complain, but.
it has
I knew what's going on.
every,
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
it has every report in there, but it's
Wow.
about the first 20 pages, but then it has every report
Maybe
we
we
were
need to give the
provided.
newspaper name one so he can read it too.
After the board
You can have
accepts
that.
it,
When we voting on it?
the next meeting.
Next meeting, all right.
So that's all I have.
That's all you got? Okay. Mr. Reed?
I just had one thing, on the June 2 meeting, you all approved an auction contract with Hickory Hill Auctions to handle the auction of the personal property and everything. That contract's been signed by Mr. Carroll, it's never been delivered to the other side. There's just a couple of things I wanted to clarify on that to make sure that I understood what y'all were wanting. So the first thing is that it says that the online auction is going to be during a time to be specified by the Madison County School District. They had asked, and I think it'd be a good idea, to have an end date. What I would propose is that be the last day that we've got staff present, which would be December 23.
Yes, sir.
So if we can, let's just have that where it says during a time specified by the school district prior to December 23, 2025. The other thing, as I was reading it says what they're going to auction, and it says school fixtures and other merchandise as directed by the school district. I think that's a mistake. School fixtures implies things that are permanently attached to the building. I think what they mean, and what I'd like to change that to is district personal property as provided on, as set out on a list provided by the district. So in other words, you guys surplus it. Let's take that list, hand it to Hickory Hill Auction and let them go to town auctioning it. But other than that, and I don't think that was anybody trying to be sneaky. I think it just, the way it was. So if we could have your permission to go ahead and send it back with those changes, I think would be there.
Everybody good with that?
I agree.
That's fine.
Okay,
Do
everybody.
we need to vote on it?
If y'all are okay with it, I think that's fine. We'll send it back that way.
That all?
Yes, sir, that's all I had.
Sure?
I'm positive. Thank you for asking.
All right, yes, sir.
I'd like to, I was able to attend the open houses at both schools, Madison County High School, Madison County Central School, and I was very, very impressed. I talked to all the teachers and those that were in their classes, let's say. They have some really neat things going on there. I can see that, and the school looked in very good condition. I'd like to recognize all the churches and other organizations in Madison that provided events for the opening of school. And one of them in particular is Mount Zion, AME Church Tool in Cherry Lake. They invited me to speak there, and they provided each child with a book bag and school supplies and fed them lunch and had a good time. But I really appreciate these churches and organizations in Madison for what they do. Again, the update on the barn at Madison County High School, Dr. Pickles, you're going to give us an update on that, and the school recognition for increasing the school grades. Thank you.
I've had my say. Nothing else.
Okay.
I would just like to say that it's been a first great week back to school. Welcome back, everybody. We appreciate you and all that you're doing. I know the first week of school is always a learning curve, the pickup line and the drop-off and all of that stuff. Today, everything went very smoothly and was nailed down to, just a matter of, 20 minutes or so. So, I just want to say that you guys are all doing a great job, and I am very excited for all of the positive things that are happening in the school district and look forward to the school year.
I would also like to say that I think the past week has been really well as far as school coming back, and I've seen some hardworking employees every day. They are doing what needs to be done to get, the kids the best possible education and safety in the school system. I would also like to speak a little bit on our new salary schedule I'm so thankful. Our teachers deserve it, and I'm so glad that I was able to be a part of this board to approve that new salary schedule for our teachers. It's been a long time coming, but it is well deserved, and I appreciate every single one of our employees and everything you do.
You done?
I'm done.
Well, I appreciate everybody coming. I wanna, on a kind of a down note, I wanna recognize and pray for, Lorenzo Blue's family.
Oh, yes.
Coach Blue coached with me when I was here. He and I went to school together in Greenville. We played ball together. And his wife, Lisa, got me through North Florida College computer classes. But he was a really good fella, really good fella. He done a lot of things for our kids people will never know about because he didn't get out there and speak on it. But he donated money for food. He donated money for school clothes. He brought kids to his house to let them work and pay them money even though they didn't work. They swim in the pool. So he was a tremendous fella, and he's going to be missed. I know I'm going to miss him. And I'd like for everybody, if they would, remember his wife Lisa and their kids in prayer.
And Miss Lisa Blue worked at Greenville Middle School.
Yeah.
She worked out there.
Yeah, Lisa did. Yeah.
Lisa.
And before we conclude, I just want to extend a thank you to our student that came today, Chloe Dickinson. On behalf of the board, I think I can very gladly say we appreciate you being here, and we love that addition to the board meetings, and we look forward to each student that comes and presents to us. So.
Okay. Ryan, were you wanting to speak now or after we discuss
During the workshop.
during the workshop? Okay, we'll just wait till the workshop and have that, okay? All right. At this time, I think I'm gonna adjourn for about 3 minutes because I'm about to die.
This meeting needs to be
So
adjourned.
we adjourn, and we'll be back in about 3 or 4
I wrote it
minutes.
down too, and I know.
5.
2 5-minute recess.
I did too, and
I talked to Lorenzo last week.
Well, okay,
We
now
had a
what
long, in-depth talk.
what happened to it?
Heart attack.
Yesterday, we went and took his grandbaby home. Went and took his grandbaby home. About 8 o'clock last night.
That's
So he went 360.
Well, luckily the baby is okay.
And see,
Died in the
it was,
with the
you
baby.
know, we had an in-depth talk. He was okay. He was good with all that good stuff. He was low key and whatever and everything.
My son, since he was little,
You don't know Edwina Reddick, but Edwina Reddick got a daughter for him. Look at that, he got a daughter when he was 16 in school. I know Frank would remember that, but Edwina Reddick. I know it was that time. Nobody paid attention to it.
I don't know for sure, but when I was told that she was on the way either home or taking it to they didn't place it
Property appraiser website.
Yeah, I got maps.
That's what I'll just pull it up. I think what I'll do is just, you got a paper copy, how they tell you pictures on one sheet.
That's why I brought up those two more things.
Yeah, that's the way I do it.
To be a thing. That don't all for you. She traveled. Yeah, just like that 8 years ago, she was at see, that's why I need somebody to address that, because she got that is about all. So she said she was going
Yes.
Chloe Dickinson did the prayer. Madison brought a prayer. I don't feel like doing
Good work. Oh my God.
We killed so many trees.
I mean, that's the report from the.
And guess what? You can do it.
The bad thing about this conversation, you can't even set a fire with it.
No, not hardly.
Oh, Jesus.
She rises to the occasion. Yeah, but you know what? She knows what's going on. She knows what's going on.
She went in that little bathroom.
She's telling the truth.
Oh, did she? Okay. Might have left.
Well, is this like the whole district or what is that? Just the high school?
How you doing? You gonna talk to
and they're calling out all kinds of things to me, and they just come in my house, and they like it.
The citizens, concerned citizens, yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Huh?
And then I'm saying overnight teachers and all other.
Say that again?
And they come and, I'm sitting up in my living room.
But I actually haven't had a piece of it yet tonight. I've been
And it's a glass window, they knocking and coming in, opening the door at the same time.
There's
But guess
never a
what?
dull
They're a little
moment.
bit older than me, so they
never.
think they boss me.
And you know what? It's
Well, they-
Amen
I
corner.
know it. And I'm respectful to them.
And then you got the other night.
So.
I wouldn't want Walter's job for nothing.
Me either. But
Absolutely nothing.
he's on it. He's on it. I said, Walter's on it.
Yeah,
Yeah, he's on it.
yeah.
I told Troy to go get seafood, and he said they have no salmon.
So, he's on it for whatever, but
Well, you know, like I said, if they can come up with the money between him and her, go for it. That's a lot, it's gonna be, it needs to be done. You know, Christy Androwski was making $45,000, and $45,000 was the beginning salary. Now, you know, she graduated in Florida, you know she's already got her master's degree. No, choosy Mosby, people like that, they kind of, yeah. But the others didn't leave because of money. None of them left because of money, and they won't be coming back. I had so much. It is something else. That's all I can say. I just hope that your school board member very.
All right, let's get going.
Yeah. Yeah, that's nice.
both of them, let me just say something, both of them told
Well,
me
you
that.
signed up, didn't you? You signed up, okay.
That's exactly. With both of them, I'm telling you what they told me.
Yeah. Who was the guy sitting over there by you?
Hey.
I can't see that.
Mayor?
So while I'm turning those seats.
Well, who's the guy next door? Oh, okay, okay,
Could you pass these?
okay. Yeah, okay.
Well, we can't.
Well, you guys have to see this,
I don't know, we have to see that, but.
but you have to be able to decide how you want to.
Well, I got a niece.
Yeah, you set a fire with that.
A lot of stuff they complain about. And I got a niece, Joy Collins.
Okay, Greenville first.
And she can't get nailed with this business.
And she's been
And she
here for
left
how
my
many
house.
years?
And she's homegrown.
Patrick, how many copies did
Most
you
of the
make?
homegrown.
Can you?
And she had
You
some
and I can
credentials and
share.
she's working on her kids.
You have mine.
No, these are,
yeah,
there's
Well,
different
be sure
parcels
you
for the
keep
different.
Down there, done.
This one must be Pinetta because he's Morgan.
Where's Greenville?
Greenville was the one that's not marked is Pinetta.
That's right there, right there, the PEF.
Oh, well, one of mine wasn't marked.
Well,
Which one's Greenville?
on that very subject there, I actually
Yeah, that's Greenville.
brought her up because I got a
This
phone
is
call.
Lee bug. That thorn in my side.
But this is something. But I'm just saying, I mean, in all these relations, you know what I'm saying?
All right, we're gonna call this workshop to order. Um, 12.1 is school parcel review. Okay, go ahead.
So, before you, let's start with Greenville. You have each parcel. It should be written on there for you.
It's the one that,
This
That
one.
little tiny blue mark.
It's this one.
yes, it has the writing on the back.
Oh, okay, I didn't
It
see
kind of
that.
looks like a triangle.
So this is Greenville.
So we'll start with
I
that
see.
one.
Okay.
And then Mr. White also has it on the large screen. So this is the one we want to start with. So the parcel details are on here for you so that you can see. I'm sorry?
When I printed the document.
Well, there's 2 parcels for Greenville.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean,
So
we can see the other parcels.
You can see where the school is. So we need to decide if you want to leave as is, if you want to make changes. I believe, Ms. Knight, if I recall, it was you that wanted to look at dividing these out further. So we wanted to make sure everybody was here. So I know Mr. Cornegay wanted to speak. So since we are discussing Greenville first.
I'm not understanding this map, so I need somebody to
So here,
explain it
so-
to me.
So put this one. So this would be one parcel that has the school. He didn't show both. And this is the, remember I told you there was a separate parcel? Mm-hmm. That's,
I know
these
that's
are
the
both.
choice.
Mr. White,
Yeah,
can
mhm.
you
So this is
turn
one that
it
was donated,
just a
and then
tad
this is
so they can
the-
see
this
the
is
larger
school parcel
screen?
that has like, I think it's like
Now, what is all this yellow right here?
Ms. Vieta, I'm gonna
those
let
are
you.
other parcels.
Just.
Those are other the yellow, we're only
So this
looking at the
particular
school
one is only
itself.
1.35. But that's only the little triangle.
Okay, so, I mean, we have this workshop, so I guess it needs to be discussed. You know, the questions that I'm asking, how it's divided up and whatever.
Do you wanna see it on here?
I got it, Katie just showed me, but,
So if you look at the larger screen, Ms. Hagan, there's the large parcel. And that has the school buildings on there. So you can see it then on your printed map in front of you.
I see it
And
on
I do
this.
have a large parcel map printed out.
That one is 29.
I look at it different, I mean, at another day, but I'm understanding this right now. Katie showed me what we're talking about. And so that in the blue area is a second parcel.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
Okay.
That one is a little over an acre.
Mhm.
The large parcel is 29.18.
Okay, large. And then the smaller one is how, what?
1.35.
1.35, thank you. Okay, and so that's the Greenville. So what are you proposing? What are we proposing? Sell it separate or sell it together or what?
Well,
And
A give.
And I think what staff's looking for is for the board to tell us what the board wants to do. You've got 30 acres here. Y'all are free to sell it all together. You're free to divide it out. However you want to do. The one thing, the way it's set up now, though, is if you're going to divide it, you have to, of course, you got to be able to give people access, all of that kind of stuff. So with Greenville, y'all may want to sell it all as just one, all together, or if you want to do something different, please tell us what you're interested in looking at.
I have a question. The RFP that went out was based off the current property, if I'm not mistaken. So would we have to, if we decided as a board to divide these parcels, have another RFP?
Oh, I don't think you'd have to.
Okay, but we would then probably have to go to the individuals or agencies and ask, because
Certainly, they would not be bound by whatever they
Right.
submitted, and they wouldn't be bound anyway. I mean, it was
Right,
the
right.
point of the RFP was just to give everybody a deadline and let them know the process of, if you're interested,
right. I'm just assuming that based off of their proposals, that was on the
Yeah.
current property.
Absolutely.
So we're looking at, what is this talking about, June 16th, 1999?
That was probably when it was acquired.
No, it was not acquired then.
That 1 acre was, according to the property appraiser's website, it says.
It said
It was
assessed.
assessed, yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry, okay.
It said it was assessed, that amount of money
Okay,
on
so
June
let's-
16th. If I look at it carefully, I can understand it.
Yeah.
But,
I can tell you with the bigger piece was the board acquired that much earlier. That part in 99, I remember when we acquired that, because that was
Okay.
Dallas Choice, and that was, I think, in 1999.
from Doc Choice, the Choice family,
Yes, ma'am, because we needed extra access that way.
and had the school buses and all that.
Yeah, that's for that small parcel, that
Yeah.
triangle one.
But then the other one, I don't, certainly it was acquired a number of years ago.
It was acquired a whole long time
Yeah.
ago, because my mama graduated in 1946 from there.
Oh, from there? From that,
Yes,
yeah.
from Greenville Training in 1946.
So, y'all can proceed how you'd like. Just I guess the ultimate thing is tell us what you want to do. Do you want to sell it, or do you want to convey it as one piece, or you want to break it up, or?
So do we want to hear from the,
I'd like to hear from them.
from the,
So we had 2 proposals for Greenville, and that was from True Wisdom in the town of Greenville. So I do know that Mr. Cornegay wanted to speak. So Mr. Cornegay, do you and your team want to speak? Sure. And then we'll have True Wisdom come up and speak.
Good evening, board. How you doing?
Good evening.
Good. Thank y'all so much for this opportunity to come up here again. As you all know and have seen the proposals, we've proposed a pretty comprehensive plan for the Greenville site if given this property. We are asking for you all to convey it to us. We have partners that are literally ready to go in right now, one being the Swanee River Regional Library. As you all know, Greenville has not really had a library in some time, and the students at the school haven't been able to have a library in some time either, so this would really help us to have a great partnership. The other, though, is also Florida A&M University's cooperative extension program, who is looking to help work with us to do a community farm in the space. As you know, Greenville has no access really to fresh produce in its community desert, a food desert, and so we're looking to be able to use that space to do a community farm, but also to do some specific youth education and ag empowerment work out there as well. So they'll be working with us to do that space. That's why we're really asking for the building itself, along with all that you've seen in the proposal, but also the land space that's a really open space out there for the farm space. If you'll note on this property appraiser's website that we actually own the property adjoining this, so this will actually help us to comprehensively be able to maintain this space because we already maintain the property next to it. But also, if you look in the back, you can't really see it from here, but in the back of the schools, Ms. Vieta, you already know, there are some old buildings back there. That's the site of the former Greenville Training School. It wasn't necessarily a proposal because it's not our top priority, but we would like to look into making that some type of historic site, or potentially at least, if not making it a historic site, going and doing some type of dedication to it, because we do have a large community from the Greenville Training School who's really interested in still honoring that space. And so that's kind of how I want to share there, but we really had a comprehensive plan to utilize that whole space. I heard Board Member Thompson already talk about what we need to go back to rebid. We kind of proposed it in a way comprehensively to really utilize every point of it.
I have a question. I'm sorry.
No, you go ahead.
Sure.
Are there still remnants of that school there? Because
Yes.
when I was a child
Yes.
playing on that playground, you could see
That
that,
is
school
That is
over the fence.
Those are the buildings.
Okay, and
Those are
that,
the
I
buildings.
remember seeing that standing back
Yes.
there.
And when I went to school there, you really couldn't see them well, but I don't know who went in and cleared it up some. You can see them fairly
I'm
nicely
a little
now.
bit older than you.
Well,
No,
when,
you-
when I went there in the 8th grade, we used them buildings back there for a gym.
And I think I heard my
That's right,
dad.
that's what we did
Yeah.
for PM. We had the
Yeah.
black car court, and then when we were inside, we used those buildings for our gym.
Right.
And they had one for boys and one for girls.
Yes, ma'am.
Now they got honeybees in it.
But you know what? That goes right back into the ag space that we're trying to do out there, because FAMU was going to bring their whole arm of cooperative extension work out there, and actually working with USDA's forestry program to even look at some of the, you see a lot of forest portions out there. They'll be able to do some work and teach some of our students and hopefully some families and adults about what that looks like comprehensively in agriculture and how you can utilize that as a way to self-sustain yourself.
Were you saying that you could utilize all of this area then?
Correct. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
That's where we want to put a community farm space, because right now it's not.
I like your plans, and I like the fact that you're connected with the town, and I know your heart is there for sure.
Yes, ma'am.
And it's going to benefit, anything that benefits the students or the community, I'm all for.
A new generation of working people, great-great-grandchildren of these people.
And Greenville needs, they need.
We need it. We
You
definitely need it.
That's right.
And again, we're very much open to and willing. The partners that you see in there are the people who are ready to go in today, but we're not closed-minded to working with anybody who we can work together and make Greenville a better space at all. So we're very much open to that. Yep. Any other questions?
I don't have any right now, but I appreciate you coming.
Definitely. Just want to say again, that's part of the reason I put my thing up there. I want the lobby for that, so please just keep these things in mind, comprehensive of that whole space that we requested. And if I can, this is a little bit separate from that. I heard Superintendent Pickles say earlier about the 3 years dedicated to making sure that Greenville students are able to prosper through.
We do have to monitor those children that we reassign to the central school.
Right.
We have to monitor those children.
Yes, ma'am.
For the next 3 years.
So, I briefly said in passing on one of my last times up here a few months ago, but I would like to know if there's any way that we can work with y'all as a community, because we have people who are really interested in making sure that transition goes well. So if there's a way we can work with y'all to do some type of mentorship.
I'll get with you later.
I would love to do that. But thank y'all so much. Appreciate it.
Ms. Foster, would you like to address the board? Provide any updates?
So, hi again.
Hi.
Hi, so I'm Danielle. This is Erica. Right, I'll say a little bit and I'll let Erica speak. So I'm the business administrator. I kind of handle dollars and cents. I guess I want to speak plainly because we're all children of the rural South here. So we understand rural communities. I know that, I'm not necessarily from Greenville or Lee or Pinetta. But one thing, I don't mean to get too biblical, but that's who we are at True Wisdom. The Bible says where your heart is, that's where your treasure is. We're proposing to do the exact same services and replicate the services. The difference is that we're willing to pay to do them, if I can just be blunt. We heard about the budget windfalls, and we understand that. We wouldn't be proposing something to come in and do a community takeover if we weren't willing to invest in it. So essentially, over the course of our entire project, we're offering $500,000 to come into the community to serve it. I think that speaks volumes about who we are as a people and what we're planning to do and what we plan on offering. Community conservation, community stabilization, the historical preservation of African American areas, it's everything that we do, if I'm just being totally honest. We launched a Juneteenth program. We've taken 50 or so kids every year to African American exhibits during the month of Juneteenth, every year since Juneteenth. Montgomery, we've stabilized our community. We have exhaustive research projects happening right now about Jefferson County, Gaston County, and including Madison County. To be totally honest, we are working hard to launch a comprehensive rural African American historical artifact space and have that travel across rural communities. We have no plans to change the overall identity of rural communities that we're a part of. Our job is to go in it, our charge, and what we've been commissioned to do in the body of Christ is to go in and to offer stabilization, from child care to the child care facilities that we offer, to the food distribution that we do, to we already have 374 acres that we farm and operate and offer kids large fishing trips, and we already do these programs. So I would like you to take that into consideration, the work that we already do, that we've been doing for the past 20 years. And of course, we would love to partner, but again, we're willing to pay to take care of these communities and make that investment. So it sounds like there needs to be an economic investment right now. So yes, we have grant writers on our team, but everyone's aware about grant money. And everyone knows that that takes time, right? Like you have to write, you have to get approved. There's a budget process. There's things that you have to adhere to. One thing we're really good at is marrying private and public money together to get a job done. And we do a lot with little. So I just want to share that about us and who we are and our identity as an organization.
One thing that we grew up on it and we were bred on is hard work. That's our foundation. We are no strangers to hard work, and the man hour and the volunteers that we have speaks volumes in what we can offer this community.
So I just wanted to put that tidbit in there as well. Are there any questions?
And, I'm sorry. And I can just, toot our own horn. So I have a daughter that's, and I joined this organization, when I was 24. I'm 41 now. So, with my daughter in tow. My daughter's 17. She's an AP student. She has been a part of this project since the onset. She was educated in our educational facilities. She's set to be a teacher and a veterinarian. She starts Florida State next year. She's committed to this project. We've born and bred children that have done this work. We believe in it. Our lives have been dedicated to it. My life has been dedicated to it since I was 24 years old. So I believe in the work that we do. I stand by it. I stand on it. I've benefited from it, and I've had a hand in offering it. So I just wanted to share that. We have no plans to tear apart or to try to re-identify rural communities. They're so important to us. And we've spent a lot of our own money out of our own pocket doing this work. So we're not rich people. We just work hard. We save hard. We're good stewards.
Well, where do you guys stand on the acreage, since that's what we're talking about?
Greenville is going to be an agricultural site. I think both of the projects are actually offering that. Hydroponics, greenhouses, things like that. Agribusiness. There has to be some fresh fruit and some fresh produce in the Greenville area. We know that. We knew that coming in. Yeah. That's why we chose it as a site. We need to get, it's a food desert, and we need to get food into the community. So.
I just got a text message asking if you all are asking for all of it. Are you duplicating services? My phone beeping off here with text messages as you all started talking. And now they're telling me money is not everything. I got it right here. I'm just saying what they said I better say. You saw me pick up the phone and do my phone. And I don't do this in meetings. I don't do on my phone in meetings.
I understand.
But then this, it's doing it again.
Well, I understand that, they said that money's not everything, but the Bible said it answers all things. I'm just being frank and I'm being honest. And there's some things that need to happen in this community, and we are offering to do those things, and we're offering to pay to do them. I mean, again, no, money is not everything. The love of money is the root of all evil. But the Bible does say that it answers all things.
The love of money.
Yes, it can get, yes. And we want to do the work. We're a nonprofit. We're not a for-profit arm. We're not coming in trying to make money off the property. We're trying to build it, so.
So I've spoken to you all about it.
You have.
I know your ideas and your plans and whatever. But
yes, ma'am.
Then I did make mine plain and
you
straight
did.
About Greenville.
Yes, I understand. We understand that.
So I'm taking things from my constituents right now.
Of course, that's who you represent.
And these meetings are being, a lot more people on these now, this meeting here, than on the school board meeting, because this is the one that they were interested in.
Of course, of course. So just
and they told me to check my phone and bring my phone in, because I usually don't.
Well, like I said, we understand. We were not born in Greenville. I was born in Chipley, Florida.
I was born in Alabama.
I was born at Fort Rucker on Delville, and I'm an Army veteran. So I understand service. And I understand service to a community, and that's what we've dedicated our lives to. Our pastor and founder is behind us. He's a man of few words until he gets to a pulpit. But he's a child of Grove Park, Florida, and the child of labor workers, of migrant, yet seasonal farm workers. He was raised by his grandmother. He understands the value of education in a rural area. He was overlooked for years. That's why he built the educational projects that he did. If I can just be honest, as a poor black boy from Grove Park, Florida, and he'll tell you his own story. I don't want to tell it for him. But it's been the lifeblood of who we are as an organization. So, yes.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you, ma'am.
So do we have any direction, guidance from the board? Do we want to
I personally would like for us to see that property stay together.
I would too.
Yeah, I mean, the problem with this one is if you separate even the parcel that's partially taken out, you're taking away the driveway and the entrance.
You got the easement.
So, you know, you'd have to put a separate one in. So,
Or we, I mean, you know, I don't want to speak for someone else, but we've heard from some of the RFP people, they're willing to have surveys done to resurvey property. That may be something that we have to look at, is to maybe having a new survey done to have those parcels adjoined, potentially at the expense of whoever we.
I mean, if you sell them, they would connect them together, but I think, like, have we done any research on how much of that acreage is wet, and how much of it's dry? Like, do we have any idea?
And plenty of it is swampland too.
Yeah, that's what
Well,
I'm saying, how much is
I went
wet?
by there
Plenty of
today.
it behind those two white buildings, swampland.
Yep, I went by there today and there's a buzzard stuck in the air. You can't go over. That's how wet it is, some places back there in the back, you know, so. I don't know, I guess you could grow rice back
So
there, I
what
don't
would it
know.
be worth to divide it? Somebody's not gonna want the swampland. When you go dividing it, swampland has to go in there, and somebody's not gonna want that swampland. Because, that back part back there, majority of it, I mean, it is swampland.
And we wanted
It's a
this,
lot of acreage, but it's swampland.
and didn't we want this accomplished by, what, December? Did
December.
you say December? In other words,
To dispose of the property.
So, yeah.
I think we need to leave Greenville whole, just like it is, that's my
Okay.
I'm in
opinion.
favor of
Convey
that.
both together, I have that one.
Okay, so I'm in
Okay, but
favor
leave
of that.
Greenville whole.
Mr. White, which one are you pulling up next? Pinetta or Lee? Oh, you clicked off.
I'd like to give them more time.
That's Lee.
Let's pull up Lee.
Number one.
Ryan
Lee
is-
looks like a backwards number one.
Okay, this is Lee.
This is, yeah.
Okay, Lee.
Okay,
This one.
okay, I think we got them straight now. Okay. This.
And that is 9 acres exactly.
But you know, you got that part over there that's got that library on it.
Okay, we're gonna leave this hole right here.
Probably have to discuss that, okay?
Lee talking about, I'm leaving down here.
Wait, is it parcel? It's going to be parceled out
We could
separately.
give all
Hang
the
on.
buildings away and, I mean,
Central School, let's
Is
see.
it parcel?
I'll pull up Central.
One over there by
I still
the
have a piece of
library?
chocolate.
Yeah, you talking about Lee?
oh, you haven't eaten. I thought you said you need a piece. I was like, I got you.
It's the upside down dime.
I'm not
up
at
here.
that point.
Yeah, I see it up there.
It's
Yeah.
separate, yeah.
So
It's separate.
it's an 18-acre parcel that's together, it's 18 acres.
Right.
And that includes the
It's all 18
county
acres.
library that the school
no, we
board
don't
and
wanna
county
touch
commission entered into a long-term lease.
Yeah, because
So-
you guys have the wrong one highlighted on it.
Yeah,
Touch
yeah,
that.
So the school is actually this parcel
Yeah.
right here.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh, sorry, Miss Carol, you see what I said?
18.14.
We have to, we do have to parcel out the library.
Okay, school.
Well,
Okay.
and you've got a choice in the matter, so you
That's
can,
Pinetta.
That's Lee.
if you want to, you can divide it into 2 different parcels and have the county maybe take title to that one and this. The other way to do it, the lease agreement with the county has already been recorded.
Yes.
So that, if you convey the entire parcel to someone, they would have to honor that lease agreement because that's already been recorded. So
I got it.
you can do it either way. Now, the reason we did it as a lease agreement way back then was because when we investigated, and that right there is US 90, and so to get a driveway permit, you got to get that from the State Department of Transportation. And they said they wouldn't give us another driveway permit. So both the library and the school are using that one driveway onto US 90. if y'all did decide that you wanted to convey out the library property separately, we'd have to work that out as an easement or something where you defined who, the rights on that drive coming out on that.
I got you.
But other than that, y'all are free to divide it how you'd like to,
Okay.
or keep it together.
So do we want to hear from the town of Lee before we move forward?
Yeah.
So we need to hear from the town of Lee and then True Wisdom again.
Okay,
I'd turn some more if I could.
that's all right. I'm seeing what I need to see with my glasses.
Superintendent Pickles, board, good evening, everybody. Not near as esteemed as a public speaker as some of the folks in here tonight, so y'all bear with me. But just kind of in our original proposal, the town of Lee remains grateful for your time and consideration, in keeping us in this. We understand the complexities involved in the disposition of surplus property, and we appreciate the opportunity to present our case openly. We come to you as a small and underfunded municipal body, and I think everyone in here knows that. And we come to request with clarity and sincerity that this parcel, which sits at the heart of our town, remain under public stewardship and serve public benefit. With current fiscal realities and the very real possibility of ad valorem property tax revenue being reduced or outright eliminated in the near future, we recognize the need to reimagine how municipalities like ours survive and grow. The Lee Elementary parcel represents not only a practical location for civic and public use, but also a future opportunity to support small-scale commerce, town services, and local economic activity, all which help us maintain independence and accountability to our residents. Our proposal is not rigid, as was stated originally. We remain open to a range of solutions from conveyance to purchase to cooperative agreements, whatever supports responsible transfer aligned with Florida's public interest statutes. We are even willing to accept deed restrictions or reverter clauses that ensure the land stays dedicated to community use. Simply put, this land is part of our town's past, and we're asking for help to make it part of our future. Thank you for keeping that open door with us. And we don't have the same budget as a private developer, as we said before, but we do have something that no one else has. We have a long-term accountability to the people of Lee. We can't promise to pay more than we can afford, but we can promise this: the property will be preserved, used, and maintained by the same people who have decided for generations. On the note, we don't have a structured plan like Greenville. We really don't. We're going to take this kind of uniquely to the needs of the citizens as they arise. So that's kind of where we are.
So the first question that I have is, obviously the RFP had non-compete
Absolutely.
clause in there.
Absolutely.
You're wanting, it was presented to be used as a, business complex that currently you have done a lease with the micro school. That's obviously in violation of the non-compete, so.
That would not be at that location. That is clear. The micro school would be in that location. I would stay within our existing business.
Can you talk just a little
Yeah,
bit
I can't-
louder?
I can't.
hear.
I'll bring
this
And
over,
the
sorry.
general public need to hear you
But
say
yeah,
that too.
that micro school is actually, that lease is final. They're in our existing business district, the old lease school. for
I
those
like
that
what
know.
you've
Are
done
they
with,
understanding that? Do they know that that lease will not be enforced? I mean.
Oh, absolutely. There's
Okay.
been full transparency with any, and we haven't discussed it. I mean, we don't have the parcel. So, but yeah, as far as within the town, and I mean, with the residents, that should be very clear that is not intended to be a school in any way, shape, or form. It really just, it's at the center of town, and it gives us an opportunity to use it for municipal uses. Again, some small commerce, little buildings. It's a big place. And I know you discussed separation of the property, splitting the parcel. We're not opposed to that either. And, it kind of eliminates some conflict with you guys with the library and egress and easements and things of that nature, I mean, we've always worked really well together before, and I think we can continue to do so.
This might be a very blunt and frank question, but it's something that I've thought about because it's a lot to consider.
Yes.
Is the town in a financial place to maintain that building as far as, I'm just thinking the electricity alone to prevent mold and things
To
from.
keep things running.
Yes, because we've seen that.
The
Very
insurance.
quickly.
Yeah, it's very true.
And I'm not trying to be.
No,
just,
I mean,
I'm
it's
just
an honest
really
question.
thinking through.
Yeah, absolutely.
Those types of things, because I would love to see it be utilized for the community. I think that would be wonderful, but I also know the financial burden
Cost of it.
of it as well. And
I
so-
think that's something, we'd probably like to take a little deeper look
Yeah.
into, is the
And I
overall
would-
expense of the facility,
So
just
Right.
generally.
Let me get this straight.
Yes,
What
Ms.
are you asking for? I heard you, but I want to know, what are you asking for?
as far as,
The property, the
So
entire
he's-
property.
He's open for
Yeah,
us
yeah.
to separate the parcel.
Okay,
They're
that's
concerned
Absolutely.
about the building.
But you're thinking
Yeah.
the building is
yeah,
definitely.
we're
So
really
from-
after the building more so.
Okay,
We don't
that's-
really need the pine trees and,
That's
you
what I
know.
wanted
and
So for me
everything else.
personally, Lee is one of the ones that I thought we definitely needed to look at it separating out. So for me personally, on that west side of the building, all the way back, I was the PTO president when we planted those pine trees.
So how old
So,
are they, Katie?
too old, that's gonna give too much information. So, I'm just saying, we're not gonna talk about that.
So
And
we
then,
gonna retain that and sell it?
and then I think
Is that
you also
okay?
need to separate out the library, and so that we can continue our lease, with the county for the public library. So
Absolutely.
that's kind of where I'm at on this particular building, but, we still need to hear from true wisdom as well, so.
Questions, concerns, anything further?
Is
from
that
you?
something that you guys as the town can discuss as far as, I mean, I'm sure we
And
could probably get you some.
I'll touch on that a little further. We've kind of, in anticipation of this, in-house, staff-wise, we've been kind of looking at some of the areas where we can recoup some smaller funding, things that we have expenditure on, that we can adjust and just free up some more funds for that acquisition.
Have you reached out to any potential tenants? Like, ideally, you were talking about using it, I guess, partly for the use of, the
Potentially some
town,
utility
but
and
also
such.
putting, businesses out there. Have you tried to implement?
Not really, because again, I don't want to get people's hopes up and
Right.
put word out and people, kind of get excited about it, or people that are looking
Yeah,
at
but it always
startups and
helps
hold
to
off.
say, like they're coming,
There's
like to
that-
say, I've got, these,
Possibility, yeah.
That's true.
these 10 businesses that would potentially.
But I will
like-
say, even with other businesses that are existing outside of the micro school and in our other space, we're already limited. We're full.
Yeah,
We're
like
at
the
capacity.
daycare and-
The
yeah.
daycare
Yeah, so
could
you can-
expand.
I know the
Yeah.
kitchen is a huge.
We have the
tournament.
Legion in there now, and so
Yeah.
the kitchen's occupied in that space. So there's, our space there is pretty filled up. So there's definitely some opportunity there
Right.
already existing.
And I like what you've done with the old Lee School. You're
Yes.
keeping the property up,
Yes.
it looks good,
We're
it's not
working on it.
decrepit and falling apart.
Yeah, it
So
was a
that makes
shame
me
to see
feel
it
good. If you
sit,
get it,
so.
you take care of the school.
And that's what I want to see happen for the Lee community.
Absolutely.
I mean, we want it to benefit the community, for sure.
It benefits the community, and that's the end goal. And then again, looking at it as far as upkeep, I mean, it's the entrance to our town. When you drive in, it's the first thing you see.
That's right. That's
So-
exactly, it's across from the post
Yeah,
office. It's-
absolutely.
Right, yes.
Absolutely.
I can tell you, Mr. Copeland is looking up the annual cost, but I want to say it was around 38,000, because I had to provide
Just for the
that.
plant.
Just for the operational, the cost, because we had to provide that to emergency management when we were working
Yes,
with them.
correct.
And that's in operational capacity as a school, correct?
That's
No.
in summer mode.
No.
No, that's in
that-
summer.
that's
mode.
That's in summer
That's
mode.
standby.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
I see.
Yes,
Something
So-
puzzle.
yes.
Sounds good.
But if it is being leased out, then you recoup
Absolutely.
those funds.
Absolutely.
And
So,
they've had good luck leasing it out.
right. And I think our community is growing and people
Well-
want opportunities to expand.
And we see that too. We see the growth
Yeah.
on our side of the county,
Right.
from the county's
Right.
point of view.
So I'm gonna ask you the same question that I asked Greenville. So you have somebody here, because again, I'm the person up here that is about the dollars, okay? I'm not about the sentiment, so I get,
Yes.
I know I'm considered cold-hearted here. So I'm very intrigued by her dollars as a
Absolutely.
financially constrained district, okay?
Yeah.
You're not willing to partner with them, like if they buy the school and are willing to partner, like again, I feel like there's a lot of partnerships that can be taken into consideration here because you all kind of want to do the same thing in these communities, and there's enough buildings out there
I'll
to be
put
able to do
something on
it.
the table, kind of counter that. Again, we're open to a reverter clause. So if we take the space and there's a letdown in public use and we're not upholding our end of the bargain, it comes back to you guys for
Right.
sale again
Well,
anyway.
and that was in.
I mean,
that's-
you're not out of the money essentially. and-
Yeah, but and my concern with that is if you don't have the $35,000 to maintain it in summer mode, and then I get it back and it's torn up, it's
Oh,
got
yeah,
mold,
absolutely.
and it's costing me hundreds of $1,000s to get
Absolutely.
it back and do something else with it, those are things that we have to take into consideration as well. So, like, again, the whole point is these buildings aren't cheap to maintain.
Very true.
We want them to be utilized and to enhance the community. I feel like everybody kind of has the same common goal here, and it's like, I feel like we're banging our head on the wall why we're not all working together. So,
Very true.
that's my 2 cents.
Anything further from me from the board?
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Miss Danielle, Miss Erica.
Hi.
So we understand that every community is not apples to apples, especially when you're talking about a difference between Greenville and Lee. One of the things that I'd like to highlight in our proposal is our shared and common community spaces. So that was brought on essentially by the Lee space. Like, we wanted to ensure that we were creating common and shared, be it city or municipal spacing for communities to be able to stabilize and flow. So we'd be more than willing to offer that. In reference to the land, if I can be totally honest, one of the reasons why we made the proposal that we made is because it included the land as well. So it was kind of a no-brainer in reference to loan to values. If I don't want to get into the nuts and bolts of things. Does that make sense? We're fine with the library. We understand that that makes apples to apples. That makes perfect sense. What we would like to propose possibly in reference to the pine trees, that we would put a clause in there where you could cut them, keep the proceeds for them. They would revert back to the school. We understand you planted them, and be able to still be able to utilize that part of the property. But again, all of the proceeds from the pine that was planted by the school board, of course, rightly so, should go to the school board.
That was planted by PTO members.
Right.
Back in
However,
the day.
right, that
Yeah,
needs
I
to
mean,
go back
that's-
to where the funds were,
That
allocated
was a
from. So that's,
Wonderful job by
we'd be
Christina.
willing to draw that up in the legal agreement. Just to focus again, Lee was an art district. It was a place where we were really focused on childcare. There's a lack in the outlier communities for not replicating services with VPK, but infant, toddler care, things like that for growing families. Lee is very poised for that, and that needs to be provided, and we have about 15 years of care. That was a portion of the funding model as a nonprofit to be able to assist all the other projects and programs that we were running, is our ability to be able to put a child care facility.
But you know, our biggest
place.
daycare that we currently have in the county is in Lee.
Right.
So, I mean,
But again, like I said, it's a growing city, so that was one of the areas that we really wanted to focus on in Lee, as well as our school enrichment art projects, like summer school enrichment art projects. And when I say school, I don't mean school, I mean after school enrichment, like what churches do. Okay, just clarify that point for everyone watching. All right.
If you'll
she said you're not getting a text message on that
Get a
one.
text message. We're not
I
duplicating.
got a prayer. I just got a board member.
If
That's
you'll-
what took me so long reading it.
If
The
you
next set of
recall
prayers.
from her proposal, she had this summer enrichment program
Yes.
for Lee.
For Lee, yes. A
I'll
focus
try to
on our
remind
arts,
the board
musical,
members what the
musical
proposal
I'm
therapy.
going to make this comment, and this is not just overall. Have any of you all thought about, you want to do all these programs for all these kids? How are these kids going to get there?
We offer transportation.
Okay, so you guys have transportation available? Okay, because
Yeah.
transportation is obviously
No,
an
obviously.
issue.
And, but again, when you serve a rural community, you know that. Yeah, no, kids aren't, that's
I
the
just haven't
issue.
heard it mentioned, and
No,
you know,
okay, I'm sorry.
we know.
We have passenger vans, 15, 20
Okay.
passenger vans. We have 3 of them. We understand we have to provide transportation.
Okay.
So, yes.
Okay. Any other questions?
So you're still asking for all 3 of the schools?
Oh, yes, ma'am. Yeah.
All right. So for me personally, on the Lee location, I mean, I hear you, you know, but again, you're talking about loan to income ratio, things like that. At the end of the day, there's still value there.
Of course.
Especially compared to what you want to pay us for 3 locations. That is our most valuable school. It's our nicest school. You know, there's a lot of potential to that school. So for me personally, and I'm just putting this out there, I think that those 2 parcels need to be separated.
I agree with that.
Okay. We're still open and still interested in that, but we of course wanted to, you know, it's a negotiation. So.
Oh, yes, absolutely. I'm just putting my 2 cents out there, you know, because like, again, we have to recover money where we can. You know, Greenville is not a location, you know, per se, just because a lot of that is wetland. This is this land, Lee is a prime community where people want to live,
Of
you know?
course.
Like, I mean, that could fit a couple of mobile homes on it, you know what I'm saying? We have a housing shortage in Madison County.
You're proposing
It joins
that
the
we
neighborhood
split.
right there.
So you're proposing. in this
I
meeting
am
that we-
proposing that the Lee location, we
Be divided.
separate
Okay.
that into
Parcel.
3 parcels. One parcel from the pine trees all the way back, the school in the middle, and then the parcel with the library, so that we can
you
continue
all-
that lease.
Can you all just specify out essentially the acreage that'll be assigned to the one that then is available for?
Yeah, so
sale?
once, I mean, it's, that I'm just one person up
Right,
here.
of course.
Whatever, you know,
The
the
board
pleasure of the
decides.
board is, if we decide to go that route, then obviously it would have to be, you know, surveyed and,
Okay.
and looked at.
All right.
Can I ask, when you're talking about the western parcel, you've got a rectangle there that's planted in pine trees. Are you talking about just that rectangle?
I
or
would
you
go
talking-
straight back.
We need to go all the way.
I think so.
Okay.
We need to go all the way back.
I
So the-
agree.
The, I guess, what is that, the eastern line of the trees, just take that line straight.
Straight.
Correct.
All the way
Now,
down.
Straight back.
I
That's the
will
way I
say,
just
the only
drew
thing
it.
that we need to verify out there, because again, it's been a little bit since I've been out there, but we just need to double check where that retention pond is back there as well. So,
Okay.
you know, that's something that we need to keep into consideration as well. So that, you know, if that retention pond, you know, comes
retention
over
pond.
into that side a little bit, we need to
I don't
keep that in
think it
mind.
does, but this, I'm agreeing.
I think we should be able to go straight back though.
So, but if the retention pond goes over there, then just do a jog and
Yeah,
leave the
I would say
retention
so.
pond. Okay, and then the parcel with the library
Trying to bring
on,
fall into season. I'm hot.
that one has a description on that lease. So we
Yes.
just need to get that description plotted out so that y'all
Correct.
can see it. And so we'll,
That should just be a little square.
Yeah.
oh,
according
yeah.
Are y'all
to-
looking
I
to just
think-
sell that for fair market value essentially? You just turn around and sell it for fair market value?
I mean, ideally, yes.
Okay. All right. Okay.
So,
Thank you.
and the, what was I gonna say? Okay, so, are y'all, I mean, let's hear from the other 5 board members.
That was my
Is
recommendation.
Is that what y'all wanna do?
Any
It's fine
questions
with
for
me.
us?
I don't think so. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ladies, so much.
I agree that I think we should parcel that particular piece out, especially, you know, not knowing if the town of Lee is gonna have that property, but
Yeah.
it, you know,
can see
you're
that
more
acreage for
interested in,
spots, like you
That's
said.
what I said. I
Right.
mean, we have a housing shortage here. I'm thinking about putting, you know, like,
if that is still in your best interest,
we-
if it goes in favor of the town, or however, if that's, you know.
Would that be-
So we wouldn't have a time
We would have to survey.
restriction on that, on those pieces of property.
We would have to get a survey done of
So
those
that-
to be able to see how much the
The
acreage would
building's
be.
restricted, but not.
Yeah, I think the next step is for y'all to tell staff to go get a surveyor to plot out, because this is 18 acres. And so they need to plot the whole 18 acres, then that piece that we're talking about with the pine trees on it and the
And the
piece
description.
that the library's on, bring that back to you and let you see that in black and white, right? And then y'all can, and how many acres that is,
Right.
so that you can make a final
Let
decision.
me ask you this, will there be a time restriction on this? I mean, in other words, if we give this school to Lee, for example, and no one buys the property, so what do we do? Do we just?
but the property's not costing us money.
Right.
I
Well-
mean, we could wait until we
No,
sell it.
right, not like the school. So in
Yeah.
other words, you just try to sell it and hang on to it until we get a
Yeah,
buyer?
I think the idea is that with those 2 pieces that y'all would retain, there's no urgency
No urgency.
in
yeah.
getting them sold, because really the urgency is with the buildings, you gotta keep up the buildings, you gotta
Yeah, oh,
keep
yeah.
the electricity
Right.
work, you gotta keep them insured. Well, you can't insure pine trees, you know.
Right, that's right.
That's just, and the county's gonna, do the insurance and all that on it.
Okay. Well, that's,
I drew it out on my map, so I know.
Okay.
Okay,
Was that a consensus?
yeah,
yeah, I think,
Yes,
so we're,
okay. I just want to make
that's the
sure.
consensus,
Yeah, that's-
okay.
All right,
Good.
Pine Meadow. Mr. Shadrick?
Fine, then.
Mr. Shadrick? You're up next.
Don't say it every time.
And True Wisdom again.
okay.
Throw it out there, Tyler.
So we are proposing, no, you're fine. I mean, I kind of want to hear what y'all have to say about it first, if I'm being totally
So again, another one for me, this is two separate parcels. I believe it needs to say it's two separate parcels. You know, the land behind it, and just so you ladies know, because you're only looking at the map, you know, there is two parcels. So just so you know, the school parcel and then the little block next door.
14.5.
Yeah.
And Kate is doing a lot of talking because she has conducted a whole review. We had separate committees and whatever and everything. And all of us were on separate committees.
Yes, I was on the facilities
And she was on
committee,
the
so
facilities
I did a lot of
committee.
research
So-
on these.
So she has done a lot of research, that's why she's knowing and talking realistic about all this
Now, that's
stuff.
not gonna be a problem, that's
No,
land.
because yeah.
And the one that's building on it
This-
is 7 acres.
7.4, 7.04, excuse me.
I don't know what the answer is to.
7.04 is where the school is, and then the 14 point, what is it? Is it, no, it's
No, it's
2.25.
2.25.
I'm sorry, I was
Yeah.
looking at the wrong thing, 2.25.
So for me personally, I feel like these should be just left as two separate parcels.
I agree.
Agreed.
Go over that for me, because I thought you said total was 5, total was 14, but then you said 7 and 2.
That was my mistake.
Okay.
I misspoke on that. I was on the wrong parcel.
So the parcel that the school is on is
Okay.
7.
Is that
7.
2.15?
The 2.25. Across.
No.
It's adjacent.
Uh,
It's adjacent.
South of it, yes. And we already have an offer for that.
2.25.
The 2.25 is just the empty field.
Right, what the gentleman's bidding for, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And then the school with the back
Is that-
field is the 7 acres.
Okay, where the softball field of the land is.
That includes this right here too then.
No. So let me-
Because here's the school, this goes to Evergreen right here.
So this is the school parcel, this is 7 acres, this is the 2-acre lot right here. So
Yeah.
this is a lot and this is a lot.
That's what he was.
Yes, yes.
No, I
No,
misspoke
it's-
on that.
She was,
Yeah.
I misspoke on
so
that.
this is one parcel and this is two
So you're,
parcels.
okay.
So I say leave them the way they are.
Leave them, yes.
So that way,
And then
we have a bid on this.
we already got a bid.
And leave it. So just for your notes, parcel 1 and parcel 2.
Now, just because it's two parcels on the list doesn't mean they're separate legal descriptions. We may need a surveyor to give us a description of that parcel.
I think the other,
They offer cash, but they were willing to go up. They say,
For the land.
Just based on your feedback, if you are gonna split the parcels, we'll just present an amended proposal.
okay, that would be
Okay,
fine.
and that's what we'll do,
Okay.
if that's,
But-
yeah, okay?
And
What-
that amended proposal, if that's okay
What-
with the board, we will take, we will,
He
once
needs
y'all
to
give us the fair market,
Can you just come to the
Yeah,
microphone?
because they can't hear you.
once y'all give us the market value of what you want to sell those two parcels that you're cutting out for, we would like to amend our proposal to buy those two parcels.
Okay.
Yep, I
So
know.
that way it'll be still connected, because that way we'll have a field, you know,
Okay.
for the after-school program, like if the kids want to do basketball or football or kickball or something like that. During the summertime, we have a field connected to it, so we would like to, once you find out how much you're gonna charge for them, amend our proposal to pay for it.
Okay.
And that's it. Yeah, yes,
Okay.
ma'am, so if that's all right, we'll amend our proposal. Once you find out how much you're gonna charge for those two parcels, so we can add those back. You understand about the library, that you have to cut that out, that's not a problem.
Right.
But we just would like to, once you find that out, amend our proposal, so we can pay fair market value for the adjacent property, so it'll be one piece of property.
Okay.
Okay.
If you decide to go with us.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
Mr. Shadrick?
I'll be very quick. Thank y'all for taking all this time. My cash offer stands.
I like your dollars.
It sounds good.
Okay.
All right, so the consensus is you're going to keep those as the two separate parcels. Now, just from my look at the property appraiser's website, the smaller one we purchased in 1998. That larger one, I think, is from years and years and years ago. We may need to, and may need to do this in Greenville as well, we may need to get a surveyor to give us that description on that larger parcel. So if it's okay, we'll go ahead and actually get the surveyor working on all of them on that. And we can do that and have that, quick as we can.
No, nothing, just, I think we had some people who wanted to speak.
So, let me just ask this question, so I have clarity on it. For Lee, we're talking about splitting it into 3 separate parcels.
Correct, yes, ma'am.
And those are the trees, the building.
And the library.
And the library.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so Pinetta, we're talking about, the building and then that 2.5 acres, okay? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
And we're talking about, retaining everything for Greenville, not splitting it.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you.
Was there anybody else that needed to speak on the subject?
I think, did we have any public that wanted to speak? No?
Mr. Cornegay was the only
He
one.
was the only one.
Oh, okay.
Anyone else?
I thought someone else did.
No. The ones that was on there withdrew.
They did.
All right. All right, 12.2, board meeting streaming.
Okay.
Go on with it.
This was at your request to discuss the streaming of the board meetings.
All right, go ahead, Katie.
So I just requested to have a workshop so that we can discuss, I don't want to say that we necessarily need a reorg of the way we're going to do our meetings, but, if we're going to make changes, you as the chair obviously have the right to do that, but I think that, it needs to be communicated to the board and it needs to be communicated to the general public if there's going to be a change in the structure of our meeting.
I agree.
And I understand the need to run a professional meeting and
Yes.
that's a given. So I just wanted to take this opportunity so that we could talk openly about, what the consensus is and what you, as the chair, would like to structure our meeting to look like moving forward.
So that we won't become unexpected. These
Correct.
changes are unexpected.
We're here to support
And then we're going
it.
to debate it.
Right. At the end of the day, we're not trying to be confrontational when you're trying to make changes to make the meeting more professional. When it catches us off guard, or me personally, if it catches me off guard, and
Me too.
that is my only concern, so.
I have no problem with,
Thank
we
you,
can
Mr.
have the
Chair.
meeting on top of the building. It don't matter to me where we have it, how we have it. Y'all can get WCTV or whatever. My only thing was when most of the time, 99.17% of the time, it's when they come and they're not speaking on an agenda item, they are bashing one of our employees or our superintendent or the deputy sheriffs or this, they want to bash that. So my thing was, if that's fine, if they want to do it.
Frankie,
Hey, that's good.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
I'm just telling you what my thinking was.
Okay, I
So
understand what you're
it
saying.
is not fair for people to come up here and bash an employee when they're not here to defend themselves. This is not fair. And it is, they can do it, they can tell us, but why does it have to be on YouTube? Them bashing our people. Why is that so important? When it don't have to be. None of the meeting, even the meeting don't have to be on YouTube. If we didn't want it to be on it, it does not have to be. So that's my only thing. And listen, I'm only one, and I can sit here and listen bash and bash and bash if they want to, but 99% of the time, that's what that is. And it's just not fair if they're not here to defend themselves.
Mr. Chair.
That's where I'm with.
I was
But
just reading today, the Florida First Amendment clash. And it states in there that whatever the school board does, it has to be equal, and that they can the First Amendment rights, as long as they're not in a disorderly manner, whatever, as long as they're not fighting or whatever, that they can share their ideas.
For 3 minutes.
And I have it here. I can, because it was so interesting today that I, pulled it up. And I can share that with you, and I will send that to you, what has been being said and what's legal and what's not legal.
I understand.
And so
But
that's all I'm concerned about.
You don't have to have it on YouTube. The meeting don't have to be on YouTube.
No, but
But we don't have anything to hide, Frankie.
No, I don't. I don't have anything to hide. But I'm just saying, I'm not like the rest of y'all. I'm not like the rest of y'all. I don't look at things like you all do, and that's fine, I guess. I just don't. I looked at things like, and I don't even want to bring it up because then I'm doing the same thing that they were doing. I'll be bashing them. So, but I understand, and I apologize for my mistake that night. And listen, I rode by the other day. Somebody had me hanging in a tree. So I know all about getting bad.
Mention you like they did black folk.
Yeah, just like it.
Oh, no.
Just like it. It was up there in Pinetta too.
No, Frankie.
Yeah.
Where was it? We want to know where it was.
Now that's a threatening thing.
No, I'm just playing. I'm not playing about that, but I did get bashed.
Get me excited.
I got bashed big time, and that's fine. And I made a mistake, and I own that mistake. And hey, I got.
Okay,
let me see, what month is this? August. I got to November, and then somebody else could be on this.
Okay, but getting back to that, Frankie, we can't control what people, they're allowed their 3 minutes. And I've sat here and they may hate us or love us but you sit through it and you listen to it and you just say, thank you for coming and.
I know.
And that's what this article is about.
But let's be
Negative
consistent with the
and positive.
time.
We have the right
Yeah.
to say it.
Because, you can put this on the board. When I was chair, they recommended it down in Orlando, or Tampa. Put the timing up there because people have said, you didn't give me my 3 minutes. Well, there it is. So that kind of cuts.
I understand. I made a mistake.
Well, no, you're.
No, and for me personally, it's not about the mistake that was made.
Never made one. That was Jesus.
No, it's not about the mistake.
I just talk out of turn all the time, Frankie.
I just think that we need to decide, I really love the way we're changing, in looking at other school districts and bigger school districts and that run a very smooth professional meeting. The way we're structuring our agenda is transitioning to that. The way we're doing the public comment is transitioning to that. I really like the transition that we're making, and I like the way we needed the opportunity to talk about it amongst us so that we could
say what we like and dislike instead of being said in public.
Yeah, I'm good. I made a mistake.
Well,
I
think it's admirable that you are willing to sit there and own it because we all make mistakes. Every one of us. I say things I shouldn't say all the time. And I do. We all do. We all do. And if we sit up here and act like we're perfect people, then we don't need to be here. We are here to serve this community to the best of our abilities. And I agree with you. It's hard to, I have some pretty thick skin. I can take a lot. But to hear people bash our teachers and our staff that I know work so hard every day, that's tough to swallow. So I completely empathize with that sentiment, and I understand why you feel the way you do. So, for me, I'm okay. People are going to say what they're going to say.
Right.
You just have to have thick skin and move on. You're not going to hurt my feelings worse than it's ever been hurt before I was on this board. So, I'm just saying, we signed up for knowing that our feelings might get hurt sometimes. It's not about us. It's about our staff that work so hard every single day.
And very seldom do they get bashed. I don't hear negative
We have had
things.
some bashing.
Yes,
And
yes,
we've earned our money.
We have.
We school board members have earned our money here, and we ain't getting paid enough.
Well, you said that.
But
I'm good. I'm good with it.
I personally like the direction that the meeting is heading. That's my 2 cents. I just want to clarify if we are going to change anything about the streaming, that we discuss it now so that it's out there and it's public, so that we are moving forward in the direction that we have stated.
And I'd like to see, once it starts, not to stop until the very end. In other words, the whole thing. They need to see everything that's going on, hear
All right,
everything.
well, we
So
will.
I guess we need to close this
Okay,
out.
so
Mr.
Dr.
Attorney, 'cause
Pickles?
this is just a workshop on this particular
Yeah,
subject,
yeah.
not the subject that we're
No,
talking
we,
about.
no, we
it
had a
was on there.
workshop.
It was on
Yeah,
there.
that was on there.
I requested
Oh,
to have
okay.
this.
And Ms.
I did.
Carroll.
Actually, you and I both did.
So I will
So
tell
we need to
you,
close this meeting now.
Ma'am, you said you would stay here till 10 o'clock. I'm gonna keep you to 10.
It's 9:02.
Oh, yes, you did. I got you on
I'll stay
video.
here till 12 o'clock.
Okay.
Cause I get up 6 o'clock tomorrow afternoon. But I can stay here till 12 o'clock,
Hold
but you know.
on. Dr. Pickles has something to
It's the
say.
same old thing we talked about.
so I will tell you, one of the policies to be advertised is about public input, one of those Neola policies. It should have been pushed last October, trying to go through policies that were not pushed and trying to go back. It was actually sent out by Neola last October.
So we need those changes. The board members, we need
Yes.
those changes. We haven't
So-
received those changes yet, but we need them.
That
It was in the
policy
meeting we did
states
tonight.
that
It was on
public,
tonight's agenda.
public
All those
input,
policies.
Yes, they're
Okay.
all
listed.
those,
Well, I need them, Tammy.
I'll have her print them out for
Okay.
you. There's a slew of them, and there's another batch of them. These are all the ones from 24 trying to get to you.
So those are the ones we cannot change.
So that Neola policy says that public comments are to be directed only to the chair. And you should not call, names or anything. You should only direct and keep everything pretty much civil and things, so you don't just more or less bash. So I'm paraphrasing. So it'll be on there, so we'll get all of those posted so that you'll be able to, and Ms. Hagan, I'll have all of those printed out for you.
So then that's
So-
how it needs to be structured.
This should have already been done last October. It was a special release that, I'm not sure why it wasn't done. So,
Because
To get my,
I know that we are guilty of trying to engage with people during that public comment section, which, one particular section a few meetings ago went 36 minutes when I went back and looked at it, and that is not okay. So like, we need to be following our own policies and
3 minutes and
procedures.
That's true, because on the public input, we can't make decisions. All we supposed to do
No,
is.
you're supposed to be listening, not communicating and having conversation. So, we need to be cognizant of our own policies and procedures that aren't being followed here. And that was what I wanted to bring to the table. Like, if we just approved a Neola policy that says XYZ about public comment, that's how we should be following public comment. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it.
And we need to put that on the board docs or whatever, on the public comments. We need to put it on board docs so everybody will know who goes to board doc, and they can see, that we're not making this up. The board is not.
But I think the way you're structuring the meeting, it's moving into a very professional manner, and I'm personally a fan.
Thank you. Is everybody's heart and mind clear? Y'all know what movie that's on?
Clear.
Yeah, okay. That was a movie. Everybody's
That's what
heart
our
and mind
pastor said.
Mine too.
clear? We adjourn.
all hearts and mind clear.